Welcome back, welcome back. This is the Boxing Voice.
He got a country behind him. A country.
Shane Mosley
And we know Mexicans been dominating. We know Mexicans and black fighters has been dominating for years. And you always get your biggest fight when you match the two together.
Muchos querían que tú no tomaras esta pelea frente a Dylan Lara del campamento tuyo. ¿Tú pelearías otra vez con él? Cuando se enseña a pelear, te doy la revancha. But when he learns how to fight, then I'll give him the rematch.
Now I want to ask you another question.
Go ahead.
Who's beat me?
Nobody's beaten you yet.
All I want to know.
So why pick a guy 2 weight classes?
That's all I want to.
When the other guy's got feet like Pacquiao, you have to point the gun. If I got the height, I have to come here. See? Now you have to get this. You have to get the first line of defense. You have to get the second line of defense, right? Here's the third line of defense. I got 3 lines of defense. Now Pacquiao wants to hop all over the ring. You just keep it pointed. No matter where he goes, you just keep it pointed. And you're going to find him doing just like that. If he's disciplined, pow, pow, stay right over there. Look how fast he is.
All right. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice. I am your host, Nesta Gibbs. Find me on Twitter at NestGTO. Today I'm joined alongside a few of my co-hosts here. We're going to get into this weekend's action, and we're going to discuss, of course, Sergey Kovalev taking on Nadjib Mohammedi, and John Pascal in that back and forth action fight with Yunieski Gonzalez, a Cuban guy that we never heard of, right? And Pascal just put on the map. Some may say Pascal got a controversial decision. Some may say that he won it widely. But let me first go ahead and introduce.
All right, so clearly we have an issue with the YouTube here in the sound bites, because if that was my intro, I didn't quite hear it. But I'm excited to go into
it wasn't. It was Bobby's, but...
Hello, everybody. We had an interesting night of fights. I do believe the Pascal decision was controversial. I didn't see it the way the judges saw it, and I would gladly take crow for that, even though I got the fight right.
James?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. We'll get more into it. I'm excited to talk about the fight because it looks like there's a lot of people that are very passionate about one side or the other. And, I did score for Gonzalez. I got a lot to talk about in the fight. I'm just excited to talk about these. We got some good fights this weekend. Kovalev did what he needed to do. We got an exciting fight out of that. He blew him out of there quick, but we can even talk about that because he's exciting light heavyweight, and where he goes from here is interesting. So I'm excited to get into these fights.
And let's see if we're going to try this again. And see if a casual fan can hear this.
I don't hear it, but I'm glad that we both have on tank tops and got the guns out. I feel that the Pascal fight, I am a fan of Pascal, but he did not look good. Kovalev's, it's a good fight. He had a good fight against Bernard Hopkins and his opponent in the matchmaking for HBO with him versus Mohammedi, who we never heard of and probably will never see again, was a shutout, and of course the destruction. And that's all. Let's talk about it because there were some good fights. I had my dose. I'm still high. Yeah.
All right, so let's get right into it. I guess we also got to discuss, obviously, Beibut Shumenov beating and something that I didn't expect versus BJ Flores. Now, I never seen much of BJ Flores, but I never thought highly of Beibut Shumenov. I've seen everything he had to offer since he started fighting in America, starting with the Campillo fights, where I felt he got robberies. But when you think about it, when you think about it, this guy's been in with the who's who. And maybe BJ Flores just isn't on that level. I think that Beibut Shumenov switched the style up tremendously and started doing a lot of things differently from what we're accustomed to seeing him do. I don't know if it was the connection with Ismail Shalis, but he was using the ring well. and he became a bit of a pot shotter and a counterpuncher. And he was successful at it. BJ Flores had a lot of success with that overhand right, but he got overhand right happy, and that's really all he was looking for once he landed that first one. So I don't know, man. It wasn't. He didn't really know how to cut the ring off. Beibut Shumenov was able to circle away a lot of times, and land combinations, and he was doing his rendition of what was this guy's name, Antoine Fisher. So every time he threw, he was making a noise, getting the judge's
Antoine
attention.
Smith. Are you talking about Antoine Smith?
Yeah. Did I say Antoine Fisher? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it was weird to me, but Schumanov got the win. I don't think it was controversial at all. I think he deserved the win. I feel bad for BJ Flores because this is a guy that I know more about him commentating than I do in the ring, and he gives such good analysis for every fight, and he really didn't change things. And you know what? Credit to his father, who's his trainer, and a lot of father trainers go unnoticed or get very little credit for what they do, and he was giving his son the right direction, I think, anyway. And Flores didn't really. He just didn't. I don't know, man. What did you guys think of the fight? I think that the right guy won the fight, though. I will say that.
No, that decision I have absolutely no problem with. It was a completely different Beibut Shumenov than I've ever seen before, and I think this new trainer has made a complete difference. He's basically turned him into a boxer type, and I didn't think he had that in his game. It would have been interesting had he hooked up with this trainer earlier in his career to see how some of those light heavyweight fights would have turned out. Because when you've seen him at the light heavyweight division, he was a completely different fighter. He was coming forward, and he wasn't moving like he was yesterday. Now, I don't know if that means BJ Flores is not the caliber of guys that he was fighting previously, and they didn't allow him to do this, but it was a very interesting style, and I think if he continues using it, he might have some success in the cruiserweight division.
Did you see this fight, Enrique? Because I'm not going to lie, I was busy with the Iron Boy card yesterday. I didn't get a chance to see this. And if anyone's listening or hears the playback on this, hit me up at Jameson Rocket. Send me that link to the fight because PBC did a good job on getting this one off the web. All my normal sources, no one had this, so I didn't get a chance to see it.
I don't even know who BJ Flores is. I'm sorry, I don't know by name.
He's the commentator on the broadcast. He was the one that was doing it with Lila Ali. He would go to the corner, ask the coaches questions, and come back and report. You don't know this guy?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, James, I got a question that you can't answer. I didn't realize that BJ Flores was from Phoenix. Have you seen him in previous fights train? And I've never seen him in the ring until yesterday. What kind of fighter is he? And at his age, does he have much of a future left in boxing? Because from what I seen yesterday, the answer is no, in my opinion.
To be honest, by you saying BJ Flores is from Phoenix is news to me. I mean, I have my ear to the ground. I know basically every Phoenix fighter in the Valley, amateur or pro. That's shocking to me. So I guess I can't answer your question. I wish I could, but that's strange, man. I had no idea, to be honest with you, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, when they announced him yesterday, they said his hometown was Phoenix, Arizona. So.
Yeah, they sure did for BJ Flores. I caught that one too, man. And immediately I was cracking the whip. I'm like, damn. And James ain't get me no footage.
Yo, I can't. I would know if he was training out here. I guarantee you, he's not training out in Phoenix or anywhere in this area.
Well, for the particulars, Beibut Shumenov defeated BJ Flores, whose record drops to 31-2 with 1 draw, 20 KOs by unanimous decision Saturday night to win the cruiserweight world title on Premier Boxing Champions on NBCSN. And James, the reason you can't find it online is because they give it away for free online. You just got to use their app.
Oh, shit. Okay, usually I go to YouTube for PPC cards because they post it themselves. They're pretty good about that. So,
okay.
And then I have other downloading sources that I find, and neither of them had it either. So thank you. Good shout out, though. I'll find that.
and all 3 judges scored the fight 116, 112. So what I
That
do
seems fairly close though. Was it a closer fight than what the cards are dictating, or because that seemed kind of close right there?
No, I mean, I don't have any problem with it. I can see 115, 113 as well. It's not like BJ Flores was getting shut out because he kept landing overhand right, but that was the problem. He got caught up on that. I want to jump around here a little bit. I mean, I guess I'll go right down the pipe. You know, we're gonna keep it short and sweet. Me and Robbie are the only ones that seen this. So Isaiah Thomas, he's an undefeated rising cruiserweight contender. Obviously, PBC is invested in that division now with BJ Flores and Schumanov and all these guys, right? So Isaiah Thomas was 15-0. Well, now is 15-0 with 6 KOs. He earned a very hard-fought decision over Jordan Schmell. Is it Schmell or Schmell?
I think it's Shamel Ness. And
All right.
Isaiah Thomas, he looked good. I never seen him before until yesterday, but he looked good. He had a proper game plan, and Shamel couldn't deal with what he was dealing, and I'm very happy with this decision as well. And another fighter in this division that I'm actually interested in watching. It'll be interesting to see where he goes to from here. And of course, he's another one that used to be trained in the Kronk gym. So, and he's from the Detroit area. So, and he came out using that kind of style. But he looked good in my opinion.
Well, you never know. You never know who's listening. I love Ken. Ken says BJ Flores is from Springfield, Missouri. But Ken, I will tell you, they did say he's from Phoenix, Arizona, on the telecast. But he also said that it's pronounced Shimol.
Okay. Well, thank Ken Porter for correcting.
At least I don't feel like an idiot. Dude.
Hey, I don't mind being corrected by Ken Porter live on there. That's cool with me. Listen, so we're gonna move on. Isaiah Thomas did look good. Robbie didn't tell anyone that he uses the Mayweather kind of shoulder roll thing, but I think he's coming out of a southpaw stance. So it's a little weird. Sometimes when he's on the ropes, he does get hit with some shots, but he's a crafty veteran. I didn't catch his age. Robbie, do you know his age? That's important because he looked a little bit old to me, right?
No, I didn't catch an age, and I don't remember them talking about an age, Ness, to be honest.
I'm going to have to check his age because I don't know if it was that man, I don't want to go too back. I'm gonna show my age if I start saying that. Remember that cop show with the motorcycle dudes with them big beards? I mean, them big mustaches?
Chips.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, Chips.
Chips, dude. That's what his beard looked like. And then, he's dark-skinned, so it didn't even look right. He looked old to me. I'm going to check his age right now, without a doubt. But on the undercard, I'm excited to say that there was a Dominican that can probably, take the reins here and maybe look good because he's in the lower division, and it's not that hard to dominate those divisions. Look at Mikey Garcia; he had his run. Rigondeaux had his run. Like these guys, even Abner Mars, they all have runs because the divisions are sometimes a little thin, right? Right or wrong? What do you guys think?
Agreed.
All right, so Claudio Morero was on the undercard on this PBC card as well, and man, he looked pretty good. I mean, obviously, just like all Dominicans and Cubans, he's a bit of a posturer, and he's doing the shimmies and using his gloves, Sergio Martinez type of style, Javier Fortuna, but it seems like he may have power. Now, I don't want to get too, hyped up because when he landed the overhand right on Rico Ramos, it seemed like Rico Ramos went straight down, but his head hit the canvas, and that could have caused a lot of what we saw. But the right hand was still very accurate, and it was a lead right. He didn't even set it up, so it was straight power and speed. So Claudio Morero, who I checked his record last night, and the loss that he has, I'm not gonna even look at it right now. I guess I should pull it up. But he has one loss, but I've never heard of the dude, and it's in some weird country. So I don't know what was going on with that. Can't tell you much. And Isaiah Thomas is 26 years old. Whoa, Isaiah, you got to get rid of that mustache, then, buddy, for real. Oh.
He looks a lot older than that. That's why I didn't want to give an age, Ness.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. You know, I was like, man, I didn't know who was the B side because both of these guys were undefeated. You know, but I remember seeing a tweet. Shout out to Julian Williams. I remember seeing his tweet saying that this card was gonna go, not this card, but this matchup was gonna go unwatched, and you know, basically people were gonna miss out on the war. So I said, Dan, let me make sure I watch this card because this was the second. No, this was actually the co-main event. But I watched them all, really. I even got to see Andrew Tabiti, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Claudio Morero as well is 26 years old. He's a super featherweight, and he's ranked number 3 in the Dominican Republic and in the U.S. Says he's 27. I don't know. We'll see about that. But his loss comes to Jesus Marcelo Andres Cuellar, whoever that is, and that was actually in New York City in the Turner Stone Casino. What day was this? 8/23/13. Whose card was that? I don't know. But yeah, that was for a WBA interim world featherweight title that he didn't get because he lost. But after that, he's been able to rack up 5 straight wins, including last night's KO. So Morero, I'm not saying he's a world beater or anything like that, but I am saying I'm interested to see. Especially since he's Dominican and we don't get very many talents coming from our country. I can't wait to, Heyman puts on Juan Dominguez because he's a super bantamweight that we have that's pretty talented that, is trained by Andre Rozier. And Rozier thinks that Dominguez could take out Rigo right now. Obviously, I don't believe that. Because I'm a huge Rigo fan, but whatever. We'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Rico Ramos loses by, I believe it was a second round. Let me see. It was a vicious, very vicious. You guys need to see his head's bounce off the canvas. It looks, I don't know. Go check it out. Rico Ramos loses in a vicious second round knockout, and his record drops to 24-5 now with 12 KOs. Now, I don't want to just overlook Rico Ramos because this kid came into boxing with so much talent. It seemed like I remember when they were building Areola up, this guy would get on all the Areola undercards. Do you remember that, guys?
Yeah, Rico Ramos was being pushed for a long time. He was out in Fantasy Springs a few times too. You know, he came up short. Didn't he fight what's his name? Mauricio Hesta?
Hesta? I don't think Hesta, but I know obviously he lost his title to Rigondeaux, and before that, after that, he fought wasn't it maybe Shakakov? I'm gonna look it up.
It could have been Hesta because Hesta I think is a lightweight or a little bit bigger.
Yeah, Hesta's way bigger than But Rico Ramos, you're right. He was being pushed. He even won a world title. Mm-hmm. It was Shimoda who he knocked out on HBO. But all these other fights that he had at the time, he was getting on a lot of cards, obviously because he's been signed to Al Heyman for a long time. And he won that title. He won a legitimate WBA world title, but he lost it to Rigondeaux. But then again, he was in tough. After that, with the Shimoda fight, he was tough. It was already tough. I remember Vic picking against Rico in this one, and Rico losing it if it wasn't for that come from behind knockout. So then, he goes in tougher with Rigondeaux and loses to Rigondeaux, where Rigondeaux puts this guy down. I think it was a body shot, and he went down in rounds 1 and 6, right? He went down in round 1 and 6, and he fought Esquivedes. Tough, vet, Ronnie Rios, but he Jonathan Orleano too. Remember that guy? He was trained by Henry Ramirez. And again, he also fought this Jesus Marcelo Andres Cuellar. Wow, the same dude that beat Claudio. Okay, so this guy, and he also beat Rico Ramos. Well, look, I just want to say it's weird to see this guy continue to go down, but obviously he keeps getting fights. He's going to be B-sides because he's a known name now. Not a world beater, But at least he did win a championship title. He's always going to be able to say that, man, because he legitimately won that title. So finally on this final card that was the opener, the televised opener, was another undefeated cruiserweight in Andrew the Beast Tabiti. Now, I met this guy in person my last time in Vegas, and he's a good guy, you know what I mean? And, you know, he seems to have legitimate power. His record improves to 11-0 and 10, stopping his 10-0 KO scoring, you know, record. But he won a dominant unanimous decision over a guy that wouldn't go away and didn't make it easy. James, you that, you know, you're in the gym, you would know better than I that, you know, when there's a guy that doesn't want to be knocked out, he's going to have his hands up all night. But Santos wasn't just keeping his hands up all night. So Andrew, you know, I don't want anyone to point the finger at Andrew or say that he's any type of, you know, bums or things like that, because this was his 11th fight. He just got lucky to be promoted by Mayweather, who's cool with Heyman and PBC, to have his 11th fight on television. Let's just keep that into perspective before we start, you know, ridiculing this guy, because I think he looked good. He boxed very well. He was defensive-minded, and he took very few shots. He really dominated Roberto Santos, but there's guys on my timeline who were saying, like, well, he was supposed to dominate him. This was a true blue cabbie, a Mexican cabbie, they're saying, because all his fights for Roberto Santos took place in Mexico. But Roberto Santos before this fight was 12-1 and 5. And he was a Mexican, and he was a cruiserweight Mexican. So, you know, and I'm not saying that Tabiti took it on the easy side, because he was trying to get his guy out of there. He worked the body. He's trained by Mayweather Sr., and I think this is a guy we're going to see more of. And for his 11th fight, I think that his composure, his patience was amazing, to be honest with you. James, you didn't see this one either.
I didn't, man. I didn't. I wish I did. You're hyping it up good, though.
No, I'm not. I don't mean to hype it up. What I try to do is defend boxing in a whole, because I know that because he's on TV, he's gonna be ridiculed. Because what we have to start to understand is that we don't normally get to see guys 7-0, 8-0, 11-0. We don't get that. We're getting it now, so we can't be super critical as when we were introduced to a guy like Keith Thurman. When we were introduced to Thurman, he was 17-0.
Well, you do think that, like, traditionally in the past when we do see these fights, I mean, we've even seen pro debuts on ESPN. Do you think this is Al Heyman's kind of like way to promote from like lower ranks and kind of do the same thing where he has almost two separate
fighters
levels? There you go.
Build
Okay,
fighters. You're building fighters, and you're building a fan base for these guys. And look, this was not on the big NBC, so this is again proof that it's not just about, you know, being the dominant network at all, or network at all. It's just about a brand, I think, and that brand providing a service that's going to be from developmental, which is, look at Bounce TV, what they're doing over there, and they're getting a world title fight. And let me tell you, that fight that Rasheed Warren is in over there on August 2nd, that's not no easy fight. I might be going with Payano.
Yeah,
I might be going with Payano, because I tell you right now, look, I don't got to bite my tongue. I know that Broner don't like me, so Rasheed ain't going to like me if Broner tell him not to like me. And this is what I know. Rasheed is fast. He's good. He's very talented. Every trainer that I talk to tells me the same, because a lot of them have trained him for the Olympics since he's gone to the Olympics 3 times, right? But this guy has no power, man. I seen him in Cincinnati live with a Mexican that is half the man Payano is.
He's a fast Paul Malignaggi, but I mean, I've gone back and watched this fight because I was doing it with my fantasy team too. So I was debating on who I was going to pick. I still got to feel out Rasheed Warren. I mean, even with the odds in this fight, Rasheed Warren is the underdog, but Payano gets a bit sloppy. He's very awkward, but you know, he kind of freezes up when punches are coming at him. And although Warren doesn't have a lot of power, like you said, the way he puts his combinations together is very cerebral. You know they're coming fast, but they come at different combinations, and he gets in, he gets back out. So I think that Rasheed Warren's going to win this fight. It's going to be tough because Payano is that kind of come-forward fighter. He's got the power. He's got the chin. So, like I said, I think that this is going to come out like a very Paul Malignaggi-esque type win where he's just going to be able to outbox him, kind of keep the volume on him, and just simply get out of there. You know, Gary Russell's the exact same way. Until really, like, you know, the Johnny Gonzalez fight, we didn't know what type of power he had. We saw in the past that he likes to shoe shine and kind of throw punches like an amateur. And that's similar to Rasheed Warren with that pedigree that he has in the background. He knows he needs to learn how to sit down on his punches, but at the same time, I don't think he needs to change. So I like that fight, but I do think that Rasheed Warren is going to come out in a close fight. And if people aren't watching that fight because it's under the radar, watch it, because it's going to be two style matchups that are incredibly, I guess, counteractive of each other, and both fighters are good in top level. So I like that fight for both fighters because they're both undefeated too.
I just need to find out, do I even have that on my television package? And I pay a lot. I'm paying like.
Well, I already looked, Ness, and I don't. So I don't know how many people do, because it's a very new channel apparently.
And that's the biggest problem. Cable network, like I remember Epics. It took the cable providers around here forever to get Epics when Epics was giving out all those fights. I hated it. I had to continuously make emails to get those free monthly subscriptions that they was giving out. I hated it. Listen, so we're going to cross the street to HBO because they were also on and put on a developmental card as well. This card was set up to make opponents for the divisions that they have fighters in, you know what I mean? Heavyweight division, they're invested. So they had, some guys you never heard of, Hernandez and Ratini Cole, they squared off over there, and it was a split decision. You had guys by the name of Cheney and Ramirez. These are all undercard fights that you didn't get to see. The one that I will and want you to know about is obviously Joel Diaz. The Joel Diaz that I continue to talk on. Somehow this kid didn't make it on television, and this is where they fail. You see, this is when you need to stop worrying about picking sides and stuff and just worry about you as a customer. This is where they fail right here. This kid, Joel Diaz, 19-0 and 15 KOs. I've been telling you about him for 3 years. Listen, the first time I was introduced to him, he fought Guy Robb. I know you remember that fight, James, and I'll make this short and sweet. Guy Robb also fought last night, and for you hardcores, you've seen it. I did see it, and he got a tough win, right, James? It was a win?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I read up about it because I watched the card, but I didn't watch all the fights, and that was one of the ones I skipped. But keep going.
I'll be honest. I just finished watching that, halfway fell asleep, woke up, rewinded it, went fast forward to the Brian Valoria fight on Unanimous, caught up with that, and luckily that was a first-round knockout. So, boom, I let you know that he defeated, I think it was Omar Soto by first-round knockout. And this is a guy that should have been on HBO because why? Because HBO is invested in Chocolatico. This is a possible opponent for Chocolatico with a good resume and a still very good career. But back to Joel Diaz. This kid is all power. Diaz knocked down Rodriguez just before the bell rang in the second round, put him down. I mean, these two were scheduled for a 6-rounder of a junior welterweight action, but, it was just like, I don't know, I caught a little piece of it on a stream, and obviously Diaz won the fight and looked very good.
You said it was a 6-rounder, though?
Yeah, because
that had been a swing bout. That means that they were just trying to keep him active completely. That's probably why they didn't put him on TV.
Yeah, because this is the problem.
For a 19-0 fighter, though, that's crazy.
Listen, this is the problem.
Because, with Joel Diaz, he's been on Fox Sports 1 several times.
No, wrong Diaz, baby.
Joseph Diaz. You're
wrong
Diaz,
baby.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all
no,
right.
this is Joel Diaz, okay? This is Joel Diaz. We've had him on the show, so for all you guys that keep emailing me, telling me that you've gone back and listened to shows, look for that one, Joel Diaz, right? We've had him on here a couple of times. A good kid. I'm telling you, strong, powerful, man. I remember he made it to Showbox last year, and he beat up that Canadian. Can't remember the name. Check it on BoxRec. But the point is, yes, it's a 6-round, and that's why I want to bring it up, because this is a guy that suffers. Not only that you guys didn't get to watch the fight because they don't offer what NBC Sports Net does or NBC Sports Network does. When they finish on that, they have it on another channel. Even Showtime gave you Showtime Extremes. HBO must invest in us and give us something for developmental fights. Like, they're doing it, and I can't complain. They're doing it with HBO Latino. But I don't want to hear my shit in Spanish, man. Just put it on HBO and give it to me a little cheaper. Pay me, charge me more, whatever. Just give me what I want, And with the True TV, okay, they went that right route, and that's cool too. But I don't see Joel Diaz on True TV. And the problem is why? Because he was with 360 Boxing. That shit went under, And then he signed up with John Pascal. Okay? Anytime you sign up with an active fighter is going to be a problem. I mean, think about Yandel Evans. After Javier Fortuna knocked him out, you never heard of Yandel Evans again. He's scheduled to come back too. But it's insane, man. You get with these promoters and they leave you lifeless, man. It's like lifeless. Yo, mute yourself, Jay Brooks. But I don't see Joel Diaz. Oh man, got time for that. So anyway, Diaz, he got the knockdowns. He delivered the final blow, stopping Rodriguez at 0:39 of the fourth round. The kid is who I said right now. Right now, I think he beats Verdejo. But I know, obviously, listen, what? Check his resume. Check his resume. Check his resume. He's been tough. I'm talking 11-0. Off the top of my head, I think it's Guillermo Sanchez. He beat him up when he was like 9-0, dude. This kid has been into Guy Robb. You seen what he did to Guy Robb. And that Canadian, if you watch the fight on show, this kid is the real deal. Now, obviously, me and a lot of Puerto Rican listeners, we always have a debate on this on Twitter, especially Gil. Shout out to my boy Castle Hill Gil on Twitter. Maybe not, right? Because why? Because this kid hasn't been given the luxury of fighting consistently as Verdejo has, but he got what Verdejo hasn't done. Verdejo's toughest test is Ivan Nahara. You crazy? Guy Robb probably stops Nahara. Stops him. Now, this kid's the real deal, man. I just hope, and he's trained by Abel Sanchez for years. He won't leave Abel. He won't leave Abel. He's been with Abel for like 4 years now. 4 years now, so don't think this is a game. This kid trains side by side with Gennady Golovkin, and not because he's in there with champions. No, he trains side by side with Golovkin because before there was Golovkin, it was Diaz. Okay, so check this kid out, man. Hopefully somebody puts him on fucking TV, and then they ask me why my podcast is explicit. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard. It's difficult. It's difficult. But another guy that I must mention that was on this undercard that didn't get any airplay was the undefeated Cuban light heavyweight sensation Sullivan Barrera, a guy that a lot of people have been talking about. He remains undefeated. He knocked out Hakeem Zolika, who drops now to 21-8 with 10 KOs. And he knocked him down in the second, but then obviously this kid quickly got up. Hold on a minute. Scorsese, what's up, brother?
My fault. My Skype cut out. You ready? If you ready for me to talk, I was just trying to listen to the show.
All right, listen in, brother. Listen in. I'm gonna keep it moving. So Barrera knocks down Sulika, and I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, so we're just gonna go with his first name, Hakeem. He knocked him down, and then the two traded a bunch of blows. It was a pretty tough fight, but he did get the stoppage finally around 1 minute and 34 seconds of the 8th round. The referee stopped it after Barrera knocked him down a second time. So Barrera improves. He looks like in tremendous shape. Scorsese, mute yourself. He looks in tremendous shape. He's very ripped. He's a tall fighter. Jay Brooks, mute yourself. These Skype callers, I'm gonna kill him. So I did want to mention him because Sullivan is obviously someone. Sullivan Barrera is obviously someone that we're going to be seeing. He's a main events fighter, so they need him for Kovalev. But I think that they should continue developing him the way that he is, because one thing that I didn't like about the co-main event in the John Pascal versus Yunieski Gonzalez. Jay Brooks, mute yourself. Oh, this guy's like hard, huh?
Yunieski Gonzalez, my new favorite fighter.
That's your new favorite fighter? Damn, Enrique, you really need to handle that microphone issue.
Oh, man. It feels like it's right.
It's absolutely not right. Look, just go like this. You want to do it live on air and show everybody that you're wrong? Go like this. Look. Do that. See, we don't hear that.
Fuck. I hear it. I got to reset now. I'm
just reset your whole computer. We'll be back. We'll be right here waiting for you like it's nothing. So, John Pascal, Yunieski Gonzalez, dudes was killing me, right? I'm not a PBC fanboy. What I am is, again, I like what people are giving me. I'm a dude that is invested in boxing, so I want as much of it as possible. So I know then nobody was going to be watching the PBC card because it's whack. So I wanted to tweet about it and talk about it and watch it, give them my little rating, right? So I'm doing that, and then people obviously I'm on a DVR anyway, to be honest with you, because I was a fight behind everyone else. When everybody was watching Morero, I was still watching whatever was before that. Point is, people are telling me tune in to Pascal Gonzalez. It is a barn burner. I'm like, all right. Somebody even tweeted me, fight of the year, candidate. I said, damn. I said, damn, let me go over there. And obviously, I'm tweeting with my hashtags over there about this fight too, right? So I get into this fight probably around the 7th or 8th round. I'm going to say 7th because I did go back and watch it so that I could truly break this fight down, because I know that people think that it's some way controversial. But I've been talking so much, I'm going to let it go to James now. All right. And give me your breakdown, because I wanted to just skim through the undercards that I know a lot of you guys didn't watch and get to the meat and potatoes, which is this fight and obviously Kovalev now. But what did you think of John Pascal versus Gonzalez?
I'm going to start off by saying I thought that Gonzalez won the fight 6-4. I will say that these rounds were competitive. You know, Gonzalez just started off a little bit better. He had a better jab. He was a bit wide with his punches. He's very tight with his defense. Not much head movement, but tight. And the way that Pascal wings his punches, kind of looping them from like different angles, it's able to be blocked in the way he has it. He's not looping it far. He's kind of looping it on the inside. So early in the fight, I thought that Pascal did good. Like I said, you know, I gave him I think the 2nd and the 3rd round, Pascal started to come back. But this is what I was worried about this fight. There's just something lacking in Pascal that I haven't seen, or I haven't seen in a long time. And maybe since the last fight that he's kind of diminished a little bit. His foot speed's kind of gone down a little bit. His reflexes have kind of gone down a little bit. And his power for sure has gone down a lot. Both these fighters, if they had a little bit more power, might have knocked the other one out. But neither of them really had that, you know, heavy-handed punch. They were both quick. They were both fast. I really enjoyed it. I can't believe if someone was to tell me they think this is a fight of the year candidate, I can understand why they see that. If you want to see that kind of, you know, bite on your mouth guard and go at it kind of slugfest, this would be the fight for you. There wasn't much skill or, you know, kind of, you know, technique involved. They were both very wild with their shots. They were throwing sloppy. I mean, in certain spots of the fight, you could see Gonzalez just swinging and missing, complete air, almost turning his body around. Same with Pascal. But, I mean, I think that in the rounds, all of them were close. I just think that Gonzalez did enough to edge these rounds, and I think that he did enough over Pascal to do it. And I was really shocked by that. But I did say I wasn't on the show here, but for my Throwdown Fantasy podcast, I did say that I was worried that Pascal would have been really affected by the Kovalev knockout. And I think we did see that because, you know, you could get knocked out with one hit, and it might not affect you mentally. But when you get broken down the way he does and you start getting into another firefight, I feel your body just kind of builds this anticipation and this nervousness. And I saw that with Pascal, where it seemed like he was always fighting his way out of something instead of his offense being an offense and trying to win a fight. It was his way of, you know, getting out of a corner. It was his way of getting off the ropes. He really never took control in the center of the ring, and that was what was most important. That I thought he lost the rounds doing so. Both of them took clean shots. They both have kind of, you know, good chins. I think Gonzalez is a good fighter. Obviously, like I said, I think he won this fight. But if you look in terms of someone like Sergey Kovalev, it's still, when you see the Kovalev fight, you can see these guys are on different levels. And Gonzalez was good, but I think we're also dealing with a bit diminished Jean Pascal in the ring as well. So I'll say that I gave Gonzalez the fight. I think he looked good. I think he was a bit sloppy, but you know, both of these fighters are going to be competitive, but I don't think either of them are beating Kovalev or even Adonis Stevenson, or even better beef at that point.
Robbie, what was your take on John Pascal versus Yunieski Gonzalez?
James is a wonderful breakdown of fighter. I couldn't have said that any better myself. You could tell that Pascal has been in too many wars, it looks like to me. He wasn't aggressive when he needed to be. He allowed Gonzalez to basically control the fight when Gonzalez wanted to. I also scored it 6-4 for Gonzalez. I thought this was a ripoff. Obviously the HBO wanted Pascal to win to get the rematch with Kovalev, but I'm here to tell you right now, if he does get the rematch, the first fight lasted 8 rounds. I guarantee the second round, the second fight will last less than 4 rounds, because I think Pascal has slipped that much. I was not impressed at all, and I think he lost this fight, period.
Well, let me get a test with Enrique because it sounds like he might be on properly. What up, brother?
What up, brother?
There we go.
Good. There it is.
Thank you very much. I agree.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that Yunieski.
We're still on it, baby. You messing me up now. Now I don't know how to pronounce it. And I had it down pat. I think it's Yunieski Gonzalez.
Yunieski, Uroki, yes, Yunieski. He's my new favorite fighter if he goes against Pascal again. If he were to go against Krusher, Sergey, Kovalev, I would just pick him. You know what I'm saying? Because he has a heavy hand. He takes a punch. Bernard Hopkins versus the Sergey Krusher was a great fight, I think. But Krusher did not knock out Bernard Hopkins. I don't think he will be able to knock out. I mean, I know this, like in the bottom line of everything, everyone goes with like skill set, power, history. This guy came in with a 0 and made Pascal look not that great. Even though he was declining, he looked worse. I don't know who watched the fight that judged it against Gonzalez. So he's my new favorite fighter against any of those two. You know what I mean? If there's a rematch or if they put him against the Krusher. That's what I want.
You know what I really liked about Gonzalez is that you don't see this often. The way he just kind of was he was counterpunching. You know what? I wouldn't even say this is really good. I'd say it's a 50-50 shot here. What I mean by that is that Gonzalez, when he's coming forward and he's able to walk you down, he's able to counterpunch really well. Whether that means he takes a quick drop step back, or if you come into the pocket, he's able to throw the left hook, right uppercut, and he throws this winging punches to kind of stop you from coming in. But the moment you start kind of circling and moving and he can't plant his feet, the counterpunching goes out the window and he just reverts back to that jab, which a lot of times I don't know the best way to say it. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. It was inconsistent, I guess is what I'm trying to say. His offense was very inconsistent in spots. Jean Pascal, like I said, in certain times he would hit Gonzalez so hard, and Gonzalez would come back and fight. He'd be winning a lot of shots, and just by pure sloppiness, just dropping his head and dipping too low, Pascal was able to move kind of get his way out of the punches, but it was a very sloppy fight. I thought it was entertaining to me personally. I'm typically one of those guys that love to see two boxers go straight at a chess match, but this wasn't sloppy enough where I would say it was bad and don't watch, kind of like we've seen in the past with the guy that was going to fight Sean Porter. Why can't I remember his name? He missed weight a bunch of times. Throw a name for me.
Roberto Garcia.
Roberto Garcia. It wasn't like the last fight with Roberto Garcia where it was pure sloppiness in general, but I thought we saw two fighters that were really just kind of going forward, trying to throw big bombs at each other, and because of it, they were overcommitting on their shots, and that's what we saw. So to me, this was entertaining. If you say this is a Fight of the Year candidate, we don't got many fights this year that are like mind-blowingly amazing, so I wouldn't hate if you said that.
It was clearly a robbery, though. Yes or no?
I would say it was a robbery in the sense that I had Gonzalez winning. Clear robbery is difficult for me because when rounds are this close, it's hard for me to say that, I didn't see it the other way. But I will say I thought the Gonzalez would deserve to win the fight. Robbery is hard for me to say unless it's like an Arizona Lara type situation.
Enrique, refrain from your interruptions. Beeb, we're talking Yunieski Gonzalez versus John Pascal. Please let us know how you score that fight and what is your thoughts. Because I have not gone. I'm saving the best for last, obviously. Because it's already 3-1 so far. So, Beeb, you could either ride or collide. How'd you have that fight?
Run into him.
I scored at 96-94 for Gonzalez.
There we go. Same as me and Robbie.
Well, then I'll say this before you start and give your breakdown as to why you scored at 96-94 for Gonzalez. Then you all must die.
Look. I'm going to say this, right?
That's not kindness.
I don't want to interrupt, but I clearly had on the wrong glasses yesterday. If you can tell me, if you can convince me why Pascal deserved that fight, I really do want to hear it.
Well, that's why Ness
I really do want to hear that shit right now.
That's why Ness GTO is one of the best. I have round-by-round analysis. Don't worry about it. I wrote it down per round. Because I'm going to remind you guys what was going on instead of allowing you to continuously be brainwashed by the fucking announcers. I mean, there's specific times in that fight where Lampley says that Gonzalez did something that it was really Pascal that did it.
Yo, but why is it every time we disagree you got to say we're being brainwashed by the announcers?
Because I can hear it. I hear it right there. I hear it. But look.
Okay.
It's really Beeb's go. I didn't interrupt any of you guys. I let you all get it because I want everybody to get their taste, and I want to get mine off my chest. Go ahead, Beeb.
I just thought that Gonzalez was landing more shots, and I thought his shots were cleaner. I'm not saying Pascal didn't do anything. I'm not saying Gonzalez dominated this fight. I just felt as though Gonzalez was landing more shots. He was backing Pascal up when he was landing the shots. He was snapping his head back. I want to just mention one brief thing because I don't want to be long-winded here. One thing that Gonzalez does, because he was being called a chopper, and when you throw an overhand right, you kind of take your elbow and you kick it out to the side more, and it's called opening the book, your trainer will say, and then you throw the punch over the top. He would do that, but then he would lift his elbow up and then chop down afterwards. He took a lot of the power off the shot. He was landing so flush, and he really wasn't hurting Pascal. He was backing him up because of his physical size and because of his strength and the pressure he was applying. But the punches were snapping Pascal's head back just because of the guy's size and his brute strength. But he really wasn't getting all of his body into that right hand. And if he did get all of his body into that right hand, he probably would have caused a lot more damage. But again, I think it was his volume, cleaner punching. And the thing was, no, I'm not gonna say cleaner punching. I think I should say volume because Pascal did land clean shots. I correct myself.
But you could say don't correct yourself on that.
I'm gonna be done in 2 seconds. I'll be done in 2 seconds.
All right.
You know, the thing was Pascal was a little bit wider, and I'm not saying that Gonzalez was textbook, but he was punching inside of Pascal's shots, so that's why he was able to land a little bit more. Because there was times when they would both be throwing at the same time, and his shot would get there before Pascal's because Pascal's was so wide. James, jump in. I'm done.
No, I was just saying don't backpedal on that because I saw Ness's face going off about the cleaner punching. If you can't say that he wasn't landing the cleaner punches, both of these fighters, like you said, they were landing accurate shots with basically zero defense to kind of stop these punches. But I don't even know how to put this. I thought that both fighters were kind of throwing sixes at each other the entire fight. I felt that their power, one wasn't more greater than the other. I didn't think Pascal's shots were more impactful than Gonzalez's, but I thought that Gonzalez, when he did land, he would land more effective than Pascal, because Pascal would be like, throwing those shoe shine body shots that look good from the under, keeping his shoulders low to get the angle to get on the inside. And then all of a sudden Gonzalez would come over the top, pop him. He would take 3 or 4 steps back. Then Pascal would come back with a big overhand right and hit Gonzalez. This is why I thought this fight was exciting, because it was big pop shots that were snapping each other's heads back. We would see good sequences of combinations in between these rounds. And then between these fights, they just had some sort of respect for each other, but there was also this tension building between them. So I thought it was a great fight. But I would say I still feel that Gonzalez landed the cleaner punches. He landed more. He threw more. He was dictating the pace of the fight. He was coming forward most of the time. He was throwing more punches. Thought he had a better defensive scheme than just dropping your head down a la Andre Berto and swinging up over and missing. So I thought he was more calm, more cool, collected, and deserved to win the fight. So Nestor Gibbs, I know you're burning over there. I could feel it. So go ahead.
I'm going to say one thing. I can't say that Pascal didn't land clean shots because he was landing clean shots too. Go ahead.
They both did. That's why this is a competitive fight. When people ask me if this is a robbery, this is hard for me to say because we got to come down to what do you kind of, I will say, you know what? Fuck it. It was a robbery because I can't see Pascal winning this fight. I don't even know why I'm beating around the bush. Pascal did not win this fight. I can't see it.
Goodness.
Okay. Now, see, what I'll do, because I know it's going to be hard for you guys not to interrupt, what I'll do is I'll just include you in round by rounds. How did you give Gonzalez? How did anyone here give Pascal the first round?
No.
Okay. Oh, so we all agree Gonzalez killed Pascal in that round. High activity. Definitely landed more punches. Pascal wasn't ready. He didn't know that this kid was coming out there like that. He wasn't expecting that. He buckled him. Okay, he buckled him. He wasn't expecting that. So the first round, we all gave it to Gonzalez, right? Second round, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys gave it to who?
Gonzalez.
I gave the second round to Pascal.
Pascal. I gave it to Pascal.
Very good guys right there. Robbie's staying quiet.
I also gave it to Pascal.
Huh. Robbie, you're going to go first from now on because I stood out of this one to see which way you went. You went with James. I want to see you prove it. Okay, round 2, we all gave it to Pascal. Does anybody want to teach casual fan why Pascal won that round? because
please
he
teach me.
gave it to Gonzalez.
He countered better. I thought the counter punching from Pascal was great.
Teach Harold Letterman too, because he gave it to Gonzalez too.
Yep. I thought counter punching was essential in that.
Now, James, let me tell you something that you said. And look, you got 2 goals at this fight, all right, you little cheater. But look, let me tell you something that you said from the first time you went that I loved, because I felt the same way. I think Pascal has lost a step.
Yep.
It's either he's lost a step, the age, or the stamina, because there's something wrong with him. Because in round 2, the round in question, Enrique, this dude's head movement was immaculate. He was just dodging back and side to side head movement, making Gonzalez miss. He was looking like the Matrix the way he was going back. But as the fight progressed, he couldn't do that anymore. But in the second round, he did do that. And in the big exchanges, I think Pascal got the better of it, because Gonzalez, you guys keep saying all this accurate shit. Bullshit. I'm probably the only guy on the panel that went and watched the fight twice. That's why you need to watch it again, because he is not accurate. First of all, the easiest way to describe Gonzalez's style, he's an MMA fighter, guys. He's punching down. The entire night, he looked like a hammer fist puncher. I didn't know what was going on. Tell me when he was landing clean. Yes, 1 out of 100. He threw 500. He threw 500, dude, and only landed 9 more than fucking Pascal. You know why? Because he's inaccurate. Numbers don't lie. Go ahead, B.
You're saying he was inaccurate, but the thing is you didn't like the way he was throwing his punch, so you're taking points away for technique. You can't do that.
But Beeb, I can understand what he's saying. I mean, he was a bit inaccurate with his shots, but being inaccurate doesn't, I guess, take away from the fact that I thought that you were still landing the shots better when you were landing them. He was throwing more. He was dictating the pace. It wasn't Jean Pascal that was kind of, burning the fire. It was Gonzalez that would do it. Then Pascal would fight his way out of that bag and then try to get.
He's taking style points away. I don't like that. He's taking style points away.
All right, so that's.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Right, round 2. I'm gonna tell you why I gave it to round 2. You know, there was a noun used a lot on the telecast. It was called bombs.
Brain fuck.
Bombs. Yeah. Well, no, I saw them. It's not no. They told me. Because I was like, bombs are being dropped. Bombs were being dropped by Gonzalez, not by Pascal. And bombs were the better half of Gonzalez. Gonzalez landed the better bombs. Pascal was buckling almost every round. If you know a round, show me that shit. Because I didn't see Gonzalez.
I'm going to show you round by round. I'm going to show you.
Because we can go in. I think Pascal got like about 2 fights.
Harold Letterman Kool-Aid, because he gave the second round to Gonzalez also.
Yeah, Harold Letterman gave him the first 5 rounds.
Ooh, Harold Letterman Kool-Aid.
And obviously, one of our panelists was being influenced by the brain fucking that I talk about, and they're talking about bombs, so he's looking for bombs. Get out of here with that.
No.
Listen,
I said bombs.
Enrique, I apologize for criticizing you, but when you refer to the telecast, that means you were using them as a reference in regards to scoring. That's what I'm getting.
The way my mind works is like this. When Max Kellerman was interviewing the Krusher at the end, Sergey Kovalev.
Man, now you jumping fights?
No, I am jumping fights because I was thinking, like, who is he going to ask him, when is he going to ask him about Pascal's performance? And when he asked him, it was silence. And my mind was saying that before anything.
He asked him and it was silence because he didn't even watch it. He said it on the telecast. He only watched like 2 rounds of the fight.
The 2 rounds he saw, Pascal looked like not an entertainer. And I like Pascal.
All right. So let me just continue because you guys got to say your point. In the second round, we could all agree, besides Enrique, who's chilling with Harold Letterman at a bar somewhere, drinking, obviously couldn't see that Pascal won that second round. Third round, right? This was the funny one for me because I'm pretty sure that Enrique and even James, Beeb and all probably gave this round to Gonzalez.
Nope, I gave it to Pascal. That was the other round I gave it to him, was the second and the third.
Good. So it's gonna get even harder for you. The more you admit, it's gonna get even harder for you to have it 6-4 for your guy.
I gave it to Gonzalez.
All right, well, good. Right. He's on the opposite side, all right? So the big quote-unquote right hand that Gonzalez landed, it was high on the top of the head. But what nobody noticed was that Pascal was sitting in the pocket waiting for that. He shot the counter, man. It's not that he got clipped. He was trying to clip this dude, and if you notice, the entire fight, for those that are saying that he didn't have stamina, yeah, he did tie up a lot. But he took the stance of a counterpuncher in this fight, and he was countering this dude all night. And James, you said he put his head down. You're right. You're right. Look, I'm not here to say that Pascal is better than anybody, right? Because, I mean, last night I was thinking to myself, this guy might be, and I can't even say this, but, I mean, in terms of winning fights and losing fights, he might be the Zab Judah of the light heavyweight division but the worst part is that Zab Judah has done more because Zab Judah's won way more titles and shit. He's unified in everything, you know what I'm saying? He was undisputed at one time. But this dude ain't do nothing but lose to Frotch. The only one that he got that anybody can remember is Boutte. Other than that, everyone else he lost to or is guys you can't even pronounce his name. The Chad Dawson fight. No. I was going there, baby. Just give me some time to burn. Listen, the Chad Dawson fight don't mean shit because we all know that Chad Dawson checked out in that fight. And then when he got it back together and he was putting it on Pascal, the fucking referee jumped in and stopped the fight off of that cut. Don't forget that. It was a different fight in those last ending rounds. Why? Because Pascal has always had issues with stamina. B-Hop old ass took him to school and back 2 times. 2 times, okay? This dude isn't cracked up to be what he's supposed to be. And last night showed that because a dude that we never heard of, that we not supposed to be discussing, it's not supposed to be a controversial fight. This was a tune-up going bad. A tune-up going bad. It don't matter that he had pedigree or not. This was a fucking young fighter getting in with a veteran, getting in with a quote-unquote star, somebody that deserves to be fighting a rematch with Kovalev because he's so good. Now, I will say this. I was impressed with his performance, and I will say Gonzalez came in to fight, but at the end of the day, if Keith Thurman can get slaughtered for winning dominantly versus Collazo, then why the fuck are we not slaughtering Pascal for doing this? But
because Pascal's not Keith Thurman, though. That's easy enough to answer. We're not holding Pascal to the same candle as which we do with someone like Keith Thurman.
He just fought the best in the division, and he's trying to
got knocked out of the best of the division. You might be able to compare Andre Berto or Josecito Lopez.
If you let me finish, you probably heard what I said.
Go.
He just fought the best in the division, and he's lobbying for a rematch. You're the one that's going to have to see it. The same way that you guys are going to be the one that's going to pay for Lemieux Golovkin. Bullshit. We got to stop letting this shit happen, man. It's crazy. But anyway, I was impressed with Pascal's performance. Go ahead, Beep.
You know who else scored this fight for Gonzalez? Part of the staff?
Pascal.
Part of the staff. Part of the Boxing Voice staff. Guess who else scored this fight for Gonzalez?
Salazar.
No. Gina!
Oh, Gina?
Gina scored it for Gonzalez. You got to give Gina. Gina's part of this panel.
Okay. Well, we got. I don't know where Mario's at. It's a damn shame because this was an interesting one. But
we're all mounted against you. You're in the minority here. You're in the minority.
But in that third round, the one that did more work in the middle of the round, just go to the 147 mark to around the 117 mark. You'll see who's landing the better shots, and then he closes out the round way better. And James, you're right. There was numerous times when he did the shoe shine. You're right. I loved it. I even wrote it down on my sheet. We'll get to it anyway, so I don't mess any. Oh, it's actually, look, the very next round. Pascal shoe shine into the body consistently, but landing them overhand rights because he was setting them up. It was setup shots like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Look down, dummy. And as soon as you look down, boom, over the top. And he was landing that left hook. It wasn't just one left hook. It was like a double, a triple. I mean, this dude is whack. He needs some skill. And I understand what happened. He's probably better than what he performed last night, but he wanted to win so bad. And they sold that story. Don't get me wrong. I wanted the guy to win. He was going through hell. He needed this fight.
His daughter,
he left somebody in Cuba, all that. I love the story, but you could see that the story was real because he was trying too hard. His shots weren't landing. Even when Pascal would bend down and he would hit him with a body shot, right? The second one that he would throw, it wouldn't land because this dude was just, I don't know, his built up nervous energy. I don't know what it was. He had a granite chin, but he needs, and it's not even the trainer. I was going to say he needs a new trainer, but I heard the trainer. I know Spanish. That trainer was telling him what to do. The trainer himself was telling him, you're going to lose this fight. Pascal is the favorite. You're not doing enough. Let your hands go. I know Spanish. I know what was said in that corner. Okay, so you guys can think this is a robbery all you want. They know what happened. He did kick up. he did kick up in those last championship rounds, but even the 10th round, even Harold Letterman gave it to fucking Pascal. So don't tell me this was a robbery. This wasn't. This was Pascal showing that he might be losing a step. That's what this was. But we're going to move on to the 5th round, because in this round, you could chalk it up to fatigue or Pascal just being in many wars, but the major trouble that he was having was avoiding Gonzalez's jab. Pascal, and that's why Kovalev beat him, because if you keep a consistent jab in his face, this dude can't avoid it. But the problem with Gonzalez is he didn't keep a consistent jab in his face all night. Go back and watch the fight. But in this round, you know, he couldn't avoid the jab the way that he was doing in the second, the way that he was in the Matrix. And this is why I agree with you. And I'm like, damn, is this dude been in too many wars? Is he losing a step? Is it the age? But where I'm at, it seemed like he lost a step. Again, I told you, I felt like he couldn't avoid the jab at all. But he still was landing the cleaner shots.
Yeah, but also you got to credit that a little bit to Gonzalez, because the way that Gonzalez was throwing it was different than any time before. He was kind of stepping in with it and almost making another power punch. The way he was throwing it was a bit different. The timing was a bit awkward. You saw a little bit of a resurgence, because I mean, from rounds 1, 2, 3, so 4, 5, 6. I gave all to Gonzalez, and you could kind of see his confidence building. When you were talking about him, that's what I saw when you're talking about.
Let me show you my card. Look at that.
So you had him all for Pascal in the middle rounds. I had the exact opposite.
Dude, I only gave Gonzalez the 1st, the 8th, and the 9th.
That's crazy. I don't know what you were watching, brother. I don't know.
Oh my God! You only gave him 3 rounds.
Hey, I'm giving you round by round, and no one is contesting my round by rounds. I mean, I'm just saying, if you scored it differently in that round, prove it.
After the 5th round, I stopped doing round by round. I got 4 rounds down straight. That's why I'm confident in it.
What a coincidence! In the 6th round, Pascal landed 3 straight left hooks, all followed by a right hand. Yet Jim Lampley still says Gonzalez lands more right hands. 10 seconds later, he says Gonzalez is the one landing the right hands, right? 10 seconds later, fucking Lampley says, and Kellerman seconds it, that Pascal was on wobbly legs, right? Soon as they mention wobbly legs, Pascal lands yet another big-ass left hook counter backing up Gonzalez, right? Then a big right hand. Okay, I rewinded this shit and wrote it down. He sent that dude. Well, actually, Gonzalez at the end of the round landed a big right hand that did, you know, kind of have
Pascal hurt.
Kind of. But Pascal had Gonzalez really hurt. He looked like he was on Queer Street in that 6th round. So impossible for you to give it to him. 7th round.
I do not remember him looking that bad at any point in any of these punches. Baby. I'll have to go back and watch.
I gave Pascal the 6th round too, Nestor.
Thank you. Boom. Listen, 7th round, Pascal killed Gonzalez with like a 4-punch combination.
I wrote down 6th round, Pascal looks desperate. That's what I wrote down. And I also wrote down, I hope his daughter's not watching, because he was getting his ass beat. I'm sorry, Nestor. I don't know. I wish I had your glasses. You said it makes sense, but I didn't see that.
But you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, guys, listeners? The exact round where I wrote down mention of the propaganda being spewed by the announcers is the round that he feels most confident about, that he felt Pascal's daughter should not witness a fake beating, that his mind was being brain fucked. You're going to see. You're going to see. I bet you I'm not the only one, bro, because there's a lot of intelligent boxing fans out there. They know. But I really wish J-Ro, I love J-Ro's opinion. I hope J-Ro's listening. Tweet me, text me, whatever. 7th round, right? Pascal killed Gonzalez with that 4-punch combination. But his biggest problem, again, relies that he uses his feet for defense, James. This dude is trying to back out of situations with his hands down. If he took an Earl Spence approach and backed out with his high guard and just backed and pivoted out, he wouldn't have half the problems that he has. But he wants to be Roy Jones with his hands down in the Matrix. And by the 6th round, 7th round, 8th round, you ain't even got the stamina to do that. And that's why I said I don't know if it's stamina or I don't know if it's old age. But he couldn't avoid that. He couldn't really avoid, not being hit with the jab when he was only using his feet. But again, the dude was landing the better shots.
So you gave the 7th round to Pascal, though?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so did I. All right, I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Because the problem why it was hard for me to give shots for Gonzalez is because he's throwing all these punches. Like I said, he threw 500 and something punches, but he only landed 9 more than Pascal. That means something.
It doesn't, though. Why do you keep saying that?
Because he's missing, James. He's missing.
He was throwing more punches, simple and plain. When they were landing, you can't argue that one. You could say that Pascal's punches were harder landed than Gonzalez's punches.
How does it not mean something? How does it not mean something when you miss 200 plus punches?
It doesn't matter. Okay, say in basketball, I take 500 more shots than you, but I still win the game with more points. I'm not saying that I'm basing this off on he landed more punches. What I'm saying is that when Pascal hit Gonzalez clean and Gonzalez hit Pascal clean, it was equal. I didn't feel that one was hitting the other harder. So at that point, when you're seeing the punch volume come down, you can see how Gonzalez would have squeaked out these wins. Because the punches were just coming more in succession. And when you see his limbs flying constantly and the activity he was doing and coming forward, it's very easy to see how these rounds were scored for him. How can you say that if both powers were evenly matched up and then one fighter has less power or less shots thrown than the other, how can you say Pascal still won? I don't feel Pascal hurt. If anyone looked hurt in this fight, it was Pascal. It was not Gonzalez to me.
James is right because Pascal was buckled and staggered twice.
There you go.
Also, they were both hitting with very similar power, as James alluded to, but one guy was landing more and one guy was backing the other guy up as well.
Done.
It was very. Again, I've been in the minority scoring. I scored Benavidez beating Herrera, so I've been on the other side of this. So I'm not going to argue with Ness and saying he's wrong. I just see it a different way. I mean, I can't sit there and disparage anyone else's scorecard because, again, this is a tough sport to score. Boxing is so subjective. I don't jump on people. But if you look at what I just said, James agreed with me, and a lot of people agree with me. Valid points. Very valid points.
In that 7th round, you guys are talking about staggering and stumbling. He stumbled Gonzalez with a jab to the body, then came over the top with a left hook. Like, they were stumbling each other. And what about that final round? What round was it? With the final punch, Pascal landed overhand right. He didn't stumble him there either. Like, what are you guys talking about? Look, 8th round, Pascal landed a lot of good jabs, and he landed a lot of good counters. But Gonzalez was more active. And I gave that one to Gonzalez, the 8th round. I thought he was more active. Wow. And he built momentum in that 8th round, which he carried it over to the 9th round, which, again, Pascal proved that he uses his defense is in his legs, not his fucking hands or his gloves. He doesn't block punches. He tries to run from punches. He back straights out, and that's why, again, I gave that 9th round to Gonzalez because he was landing more punches. Because when Pascal is trying to run, he's not countering as effectively as when he's sitting there waiting for Gonzalez. But in the 10th round, man, Pascal, I gave this round to Pascal. He landed some hard combinations in the middle, and then he finished the round extremely strong with big-ass combinations. And I gave the fight to Pascal, 97-93.
Wow.
We'll open up the phone lines now that we've all given our takes on that.
Have Robbie keep score here. Robbie, keep a tally on who thought Pascal won and who thought Gonzalez won. I'm just curious, if you don't mind, sir.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and open up these phone lines. We're going to take...
While you open that up, I just want to say this real quick. I think Pascal has no chance against Kovalev at the end.
Well, we already know that.
Well,
right. So I don't. That was the fight. The talk was like, oh, if he wins that fight, then he has the rematch opportunity.
Yeah, but somehow I feel like you feel that the loser does.
Somehow I feel like the loser has bigger chances against some other names out there as well. I know match up. I know you match up skill set versus like no skill but punching and mindless fighting.
I agree with Enrique because this gentleman Gonzalez has a different defensive style than Pascal. As you said, you can't run away from Kovalev. Kovalev knows how to cut the ring off, and he'll track you down, and he's got long reach. He could touch you when you think you're out of range. This guy Gonzalez is a big, imposing figure, a little bit more durable, keeps his hands up higher than Pascal, a little bit more defensively responsible than Pascal.
And powerful.
And more powerful, yeah. A little stronger. A little more physically stronger.
Did I drop the mic now?
Well, I mean, if he was so much stronger than Pascal, why didn't he knock him out? Why didn't he drop him?
Well, he backed him up more. He was controlling. He was controlling Pascal by pushing him back repeatedly.
Well, I mean, I think every counterpuncher, Mayweather in question, wants a come-forward guy. Maidana, Guerrero. Should I continue the list?
Was Pascal retreating though?
I'm writing
Was
them down.
Pascal,
Pascal was counterpunching in my opinion.
There was times when Pascal turned his back and ran. There was times when he turned his back and ran away from this guy.
He landed so many left hooks, it was insane. But listen, let's just open it up. I'm gonna try and play this intro. I don't know. People saying they're not hearing it. They are hearing it. Give me a test. Let me know. I believe this is Santana.
I don't hear it. It sounds far away.
$773. Guess not. 773? Oh, it's Fight Doctor.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on, brother?
Chilling.
Listen, people, we're not going to get into it. I'm going to just tell you, people want us to set up a pay-per-view, you and Wassam. We'll get into it off air. What did you think of this weekend's fights? Please jump right into it because there's a lot of fights and a lot of callers.
Listen, man, even Pascal thought he won that fight, okay? Harold Letterman, as blind as he is, thought the other guy, Gonzalez, won the fight. Come on, man. This was a robbery. This was not only was this a robbery, this was robbery in broad daylight. Okay? This is Brink's job. That's what this was. Okay? Listen, the house fighter got the decision. We shouldn't expect, look, the only way that Gonzalez would have had to knock him out twice to get a draw. Okay? I mean, those scorecards. The scorecards. Did one of them say 118 or one some shit, 8 rounds to 2 or whatever it was?
No, they all three were 96-94 for Pascal.
All right. Okay, so then they had it close, but this is still, I mean, come on, man. I don't understand what fight they were watching. Close but clear for Gonzalez.
Do you have a scorecard? Do you have a scorecard?
Or a reason why you think Pascal
I didn't
lost?
actually write down my scorecard, but I mean, I watched the fight. Okay.
What's the reason why Pascal lost?
When blind-ass Harold Letterman can get the fight right, then you know. That
No, but Fight Doctor, let's not I guess intoxicate the listeners who are casual with misinformation, because what we must say when speaking to Harold Letterman is that he always scores for the come forward fighter. It's no mystery. That's what he does.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Listen. Boxing is scored on 4 criteria.
Listen, do you agree with me or not? Do you agree with me or not? Does he always score for the come forward fighter, the one that quote unquote is making the fight?
You know what? I can't argue with that.
All right,
honestly,
then.
Most of the time, I dismiss Harold Letterman because, you know, from where I'm standing, the man is blind. He can't hardly score a fight. But on this instance, when he gets it right, he gets it right, and that's what happened Saturday night. Okay. I don't know what the hell fight you was watching. I don't know what the hell fight them judges was watching, but close but clear for Gonzalez, okay?
Give me one reason, please, one reason, Fight Doctor. I want to hear it so I can agree or disagree.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Can you please give me a reason why Gonzalez won? I just want to, be on your side.
I'll be more than happy to explain. First and foremost, boxing is scored on 4 criteria: clean punching, effective aggression, defense, ring generalship. Now, you look at those 4 criteria, I think the only criteria where Pascal won is clean punching, okay? But the
False. Let me tell you something. Hold on.
Criteria was Gonzalez all day long.
So wait, you said ring generalship, right? In order for you to score ring generalship to Gonzalez, he would had to be cutting the ring off. Name one time you found Pascal in the corner trapped. He was circling all day, jabbing the shit out of him all day, countering with the left hook all day. Man, what are you talking about?
There were certain points that Pascal was in the corner. There were certain points.
He never was trapped, man. He was never trapped.
He wasn't trapped. He's a veteran, but he was in the corner certain times.
Yo, you never seen Barrera pounding on him in no corner. He tied him up.
That's another fight, brother.
Reset it. I don't know what that is, ring generalship, when you're the one controlling the dude. Yeah, he's a come forward fighter. So wait a minute. So you saying? So let me ask you this: Did Mayweather control Maidana?
Actually, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Mayweather, listen, that fight was fought. Both of the fights, Maidana 1 and Maidana 2, both of those fights were fought at Mayweather's pace. Mayweather dictated the pace of that fight. It was Mayweather who wanted to fight on the ropes. It wasn't Maidana. Okay, it was Mayweather. Yes, Mayweather was the ring general. Now, were there times when Maidana was imposing his will on Mayweather and making Mayweather uncomfortable? Yes. But overall, you see, a fight is scored over 12 rounds, okay? Then each round has 3 minutes, all right? Then a fighter has to win the majority of the 3 minutes of the round to win the round unless he knocks his opponent down, okay? That is what happened the other night, last night. Okay, Gonzalez was winning the majority of every round. Now, yes, Pascal was having his moments, yes. But who was the ring general? Gonzalez. Who had the better defense? In my opinion, Gonzalez. Who was dictating the pace of the fight? Gonzalez. Okay, Gonzalez was the one coming forward, making the fight. Pascal was looking like he was uninterested. Honestly, the man looked like he wanted to be somewhere else. Okay, if you ask me who came to fight, Gonzalez. Okay, Pascal came to bullshit. Okay, he didn't come to fight.
Well, unfortunately, Gonzalez came to fight and missed.
Pascal came to fight. He just came to a different fight he expected.
The man threw more punches, so therefore he had a lower connect percentage. Okay. However, when you look at the total,
it's not a lower connect percentage, player. It's not a lower connect percentage. He practically missed enough punches for another fight, man. Get out of here. He missed over two. Pascal didn't come to fight, but he somehow managed to avoid over 250 punches.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. Well, see, you're reading this all wrong. Yes, Gonzalez missed punches because he was the one making the fight. Okay, look, while Gonzalez was missing punches, what the fuck was Pascal doing?
Countering the shit out of him. Countering the shit out of him. That's what he was doing. Because again, countering the hell out of him. Because again, Gonzalez, who was throwing 500 plus punches and throwing wildly and throwing everywhere, anywhere that he could possibly land, right?
Hey man, when is the last time you had a cigarette? Cause you know what?
2 months, baby. 2 months. 2 months, and I'm feeling healthy.
Yo, not to mention, dude.
Obviously, that nicotine help your eyes or whatever it is.
Whatever. Whatever. Listen. We're gonna agree to disagree. Listen, we're going to agree to disagree. There was a lot of other fights. Do you got any other takes on the other fights, or could we go to another caller?
You know what? Listen, real quick on Kovalev. Kovalev looked good beating up his tomato can. Okay, but that's all it was. Tomato can.
I agree.
As far as the fights from last weekend, that's all I got. Wassam needs to change his name from Wassam, so we don't know shit about boxing, because he don't know shit about boxing. I'm looking forward to debating to destroying him. I got his Twitter quotes where he thinks Andy Lee is 1,000 times the boxer that Andre Ward is. His words, not mine. And I'm out. Peace.
You know, picking up where he was talking about with the counterpunching, I mean, I really thought that there was a lot of counterpunching done in this fight on the simple fact that both fighters were really, sloppy in it. But it was really done on a straight, plain level. There really was no angles created. There really was no, I guess getting out of the pocket type counterpunches. But when you say that this came down to, you were saying that you thought Pascal had better counterpunching. To me, Gonzalez was the one that was taking advantage of every opportunity they ever missed shot. I mean, Pascal, again, did have his moments in this fight, but for you to say that Pascal was the one that was landing the more cleaner, I guess, counterpunching opportunities, I thought that was even Gonzalez's favor for me.
Well, again, I don't know how you've seen it that way, right? When Gonzalez would quote-unquote counter, because I guess you can counter coming forward, but the man was always coming forward.
It's because he would take a step back. The moment that Pascal would push, he would take a step back and throw that left hook right uppercut.
You really need to go watch this fight again, because you're giving this dude far too much credit. This dude was, listen,
you're not giving him enough.
The only thing the telecast got right was when they said, this dude isn't fighting in the traditional Cuban style, because they're right. All he did was come forward. They even said Triple G, because that's what they're trying to do. Everything is Triple G. Triple G could fart now, and it's funny, and it's great, because Triple G polarized Mexican style, and this is what Gonzalez is doing. Whatever, listen. Again, I didn't know you could counterpunch coming forward. I thought that was leading. I thought when you come forward and you're throwing punches, you're leading. But if you could counterpunch coming forward, then okay. But what I seen when he was doing that still was sloppiness. When Pascal was countering, it was targeted shots. The crowd would ooh and ah. Like, I don't know what you guys were watching.
It was simply targeted shots because Gonzalez would refuse to move his head. So what he would do is Pascal would lean over and drag the punch through the middle and hit Gonzalez right square dead in the center. I understand that. But yes, you can counterpunch coming forward because the moment that Pascal goes to throw a jab, you take a half step back real quick, you throw that left hook, right uppercut, and that's what he kept landing. That left hook counterpunch was doing good. He would even come out with the jab a little bit every once in a while to just stop Pascal in his tracks.
He did use a jab, but I promise you, listen, let's just get to the callers. Forget it. We're not going to agree, but I promise you. I promise you this. I did not see any time that Gonzalez took a step back. Stop making him to be a boxer when he was in there. He was in there just trying to get the next check. He just wanted to win. He just no, not in a bad way, Beeb. He wanted to win. He was doing whatever he had to do. He was coming forward. He was throwing punches. He wanted to be more active, but he was not accurate. He wasn't.
You know what this reminded me a lot real quick is that the Turiano Johnson versus Curtis Stevenson fight where it was a very kind of sloppy, but it was just the volume alone and the fact that he kept landing the shots that just made me feel that he won these fights.
No, because Curtis Stevens didn't do far. He didn't even do half the counterpunching that Pascal did.
I understand why Ness scored the fight the way he did and what he's getting at. This is why this sport is so subjective. For some reason, you know, Gonzalez's style to Ness just did not look effective. Because of the sloppiness, Ness couldn't see through the sloppiness of his style to look at the effectiveness of his style. He's just seeing the sloppiness of his style, and he thinks it was ineffective because he doesn't like. You know what it is? I'm not saying Ness is wrong, but this is the subconscious bias that we all have. You may like guys that come forward. I may like guys that come back. You may like technical guys. Another guy may like brawlers. This guy's style, this was a close fight, make no mistake about it. In a close fight like this, what it really comes down to is what you like as a judge. His style just did not appeal to Ness, so I can understand why he didn't score for him. Because if you don't like this guy's style, then he's going to have to dominate for you to give the fight to him. It can't be close. Go ahead.
Yeah, but let me ask Ness, let me ask you a quick question then, kind of leaning off of Beeb's point. I mean, you don't think that although that a fighter, it might not be the prettiest fighter, neither fighter were pretty, you don't think a fighter could be sloppy and still win the fight? I mean, yes. Pascal was just as sloppy, if not more than what I thought Gonzalez might have won.
No, he wasn't. See,
that ducking, and this is what's on Twitter real quick that reminded me. That ducking that Pascal was doing was illegal completely. So, yes, it's hard to get those punches to, kind of swing around down when you're not used to having to punch below your own belt to nail him in the face. So this is why I felt he was being so, Tim Bradley has a bad habit of doing the exact same thing, and people do look wild against him.
Man, you and Beeb made 2 perfect points. It's only going to highlight me and make me look better. Listen, you're right. Pascal was doing that. Is it illegal? Probably. I don't even know. Ask Beeb. He's the historian. But whose fault is it?
You can't bend below your waist. So you can bend down as long as your upper body's not going below your waist. If you go below your waist, that's illegal.
All right, so then it was the referee's job to tell him to stop bending down. The fact of the matter still remains that when he used it, he was effective, and your boy could not land punches. That's why he missed 250, okay? Because he's trying to punch down, hammer fist style, and he can't catch Pascal. But Pascal, like you said, he's got his head down, and he's just winging punches, but he was landing them. He was landing them. And what I mean by sloppy isn't just the technique, but the position of the fist when it would land. He wasn't landing like that. He was landing like that. It was just all weird. Everything. It was nothing flush. The flush ones were from Pascal's left hook. Bang, bang, all night. He was just killing it. Bang, bang. But whatever. Let's just let the callers. We don't agree. Let's see what the callers say. Let's let them pick a winner.
Really quick, 4 styles were mentioned last night: European, American, Cuban, and Mexican. That was good to know. I'm just saying. The European style I never knew existed.
There's a sloppy style. There's a 5th one.
No. European style is not the sloppy style. European style would be the Martin Murray, the Darren Barkers, those type of guys. High guard guys.
I wasn't saying European was sloppy style. I was just saying there was a 5th style, sloppy style.
Oh. Yeah. All right, 916.
Thank you.
916, you're up.
Hey, this is Ray from Sack again, man. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, brother. Talk to us. How do you have these fights scored, man? Any fight you want to talk about? Don't feel influenced by our conversation.
Yeah, I mean, because I was just listening. I mean, one point that I did hear is you said, though, Ness, that was really good was how HBO, like their commentators, they really do influence the crowd. Like if you really want to score, because I honestly caught the fight towards the end, so I didn't even get the score at the beginning. I seen it up from pretty much the ending point. I haven't got to rewatch it yet.
You recorded it?
I do know you're right about the commentators.
Did you record the fight?
Man, I don't believe too much in anything of what he really says lately, ever since the Lucas Matisse fight with Ruslan Kovalev. I mean, he had that fight a draw, and that was just ridiculous. So I don't really take his point valid at all anymore.
Oh, is that the only fight you want to talk about?
Kovalev?
There was a lot of other fight. There was a lot of other fights on this weekend's cards.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Kovalev too. I mean, that was a good fight. I look forward to seeing him fight Andre Ward. Hopefully, that fight can happen.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they were mentioning this Ward thing when Ward and Virgil Hunter have made it clear they're not going to 175. I mean, they continue to lobby for Ward to do all these things. They need to just let Ward fight at his weight, man. I mean, look, he's not going to go down to fight Triple G, and he's not going to go up to fight Kovalev, and I don't know why he has to be forced to. The way I'm not forcing Triple G to go up and fight Ward, I think we should just leave Ward alone. He hasn't decided what weight he's going to fight at yet.
Hey, but you see, the thing about that is, though, it kind of seems like Ward is kind of trolling Golovkin, though, at this point. I mean, he really wants to fight with Golovkin, and I see why people would sit there and say he should probably move up. I mean, John David Jackson said it multiple times that Andre Ward fought at light heavyweight in the Olympics, meaning, I mean, he's a big guy. Why doesn't he move up and fight him then?
Well, Virgil Hunter told me and Beeb that they fought at the Olympics at that weight because they knew they could get a win at that weight.
Well, I mean, hey,
I
just kind of understand.
Why
he should take the fight. I mean, either way it goes, at this point, you know, with GGG is fighting David Lemieux. So I mean,
on pay-per-view, make sure you say that, because I don't understand how the fuck this is going under the radar. Like, since when did Triple G become an A-side pay-per-view star?
I want to say one thing though.
Like,
I want to say,
what has he done?
Let me jump in real quick. I want to say one thing about that light heavyweight thing, because I remember the interview with Virgil Hunter. And Virgil Hunter said that Andre Ward actually weighed 169 pounds. And he had to like drink sodas and drink like 2 or 3 sodas and Gatorade and just try. The reason why he fought at light heavyweight was because they wanted Andre Jarrell to win a gold at middleweight, and they wanted Ward to win a gold medal at light heavyweight. So that's the reason why they did that. They didn't want to. They wanted to have 2 gold medals on that team, and obviously Andre Jarrell did not win the gold, so that didn't work out that way. But actually, he was really like 169 pounds, and he really wasn't. He was not at that time. He wasn't a true light heavyweight. That's what Virgil Hunter said.
Yo, you got the babies in the background, baby. Finish up.
Yeah, man. That was pretty much it, man. Y'all keep on doing what y'all doing. Y'all having a good show, man. I'm enjoying the show. I'll go ahead and go back and let you get some more callers.
I appreciate it, brother. Make sure you drop that 5-star review. We need that love. 908, talk to us. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, this Amin. What's good, fellas?
Amin, what it do? Which fight you want to talk about?
Yo, I'm jumping right into this nonsense you talking about, and that's about Pascal winning. And listen, I don't usually go against you, but you talking just about as crazy with Mario and his David Lemieux bullshit. There's no way Pascal won that fight, bro. There's no way he won that fight, okay? If Pascal won that fight, then David Lemieux and Triple G deserve to be on pay-per-view. That's another story, okay? Now, with Pascal, he lacks the stamina. I'm not even saying the kid that he fought is a world beater. I'm not even big. I mean, he's a good fighter, but, you know, whether he shot Warren from Kovalev or whatever his deal is, he just did not win that fight. And I kind of feel like you scoring it from a perspective. You actually pulling the Harold Letterman. You're looking at Pascal and saying, well, he's the favorite or he has the better pedigree, or he's the guy. So
I never said any of that. In fact, I said the exact opposite. I said that he's probably a worse version of Zab Judah in the light heavyweight division. He's never won any of the big fights. What are you talking about? Boute's his biggest name on his resume. So how did I say that?
For this fight, because you seem to be giving him some unfair advantage that he didn't earn in the boxing.
What unfair advantage? I seen clean, effective counterpunching. I broke it down and gave exact moments in each round just to contest it.
It was 6-4. I want to hear the rest of it. To be truth be told, take the rest of the callers, but at some point I want to see the rest of your scorecard because
I showed it on screen. I had and I said it on audio. I had it 97. I had it 97, 93 for Pascal, which was only one more round. Listen, and check this out. This is only one more round than the judges, but you already know that Ness scores for boxers. I've always scored for. I gave Lamont the fight. Remember, I gave Herrera the fight in the Benavidez. I scored for boxers. So again, I only gave Gonzalez the 1st, the 8th, and the 9th.
Yo, and I know nobody watched. I'm not trying to switch speeds, but nobody watched. But yo, BJ Flores got ripped off too. As far as I'm concerned, Schumanov did not look very good to me, and I don't know, I might be in the minority, but Schumanov did not win that.
You are in the minority. I scored that one for Schumanov as well. He was on his toes, and he was counterpunching the shit out of BJ. BJ fell in love with that. Is it BJ? Yeah, it is BJ. He fell in love with that right hand. He landed that one right hand, and he fell in love with it. And then after that, he was looking for it all night and getting countered. He was getting left hooked and jabbed all night to the body and to the head. I mean, I don't know what you saw. You're right. But we'll see. We'll see if some other callers seen that one as a robbery, too.
Well, listen, y'all fellas keep it up, man.
All right, Amin. Let me see. 407. You're up.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's Jay from Orlando.
Jay from Orlando, what up?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much, man. I miss you guys.
Jay, are you the one that we took the pictures together?
Yes, sir.
Oh, with the free boxing shirt?
Yeah, man.
What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Hey, man. Ness, man. This is the reason why I love the boxing voice, man. Every week, man, it's like I agree with somebody, then I disagree with somebody. Unfortunately, Ness is you this week, man. I had Pascal losing that fight, man. I really didn't score it down. I didn't really write it down because I was watching all the rest of the fights. I was flipping back and forth. But I had Pascal losing.
Whoa. Your Honor, I think that we should just strike him as a witness. Beeb, he just went on record and said he didn't score the fight because he was flipping back and forth watching all the other fights. So how could we really say that you scored it for Gonzalez if you didn't pay that close attention, my friend?
No. I watched the whole fight. But what I was saying was that it wasn't a night where if I'm watching one fight a whole night, like then I'll score a fight. But last night I went back to after the Kovalev was over. I went back to the PBC fight. So that's what I'm saying. Like I watched the whole fight from the first round all the way to the 10th round. I watched it every round, and I had it. If I had to go off the top of my head, I would say I had it pretty much 6-4, or it would be 5-5 if you want to give Pascal a round.
Everybody with this 6-4. James brainwashed everybody with that 6-4. Robbie jumped right on it.
My thing was in the middle round, Pascal was down. He was trying to do his Roy Jones Slier thing, and he's not that athletic. You can't do that. And he wasn't coming with it. I mean, he started in with the hook.
Listen, on defense of the caller, even if he was switching channels back and forth, it's just obvious that Pascal did not look good. He did not look like he was winning points at all, to me.
That's why I'm glad I got DirecTV. I was able to watch the HBO fights later on in the evening, so I didn't have to flip back and forth.
That's why I'm glad that Enrique is not a witness on my trial, because it's okay for you to flip back and forth and
No.
miss parts of the fight. Get
I
out
didn't
of
even.
here.
I did not flip at all. But I'm saying that when he
No,
flipped,
you're right. You ain't flip. You flipping right now.
no, what I'm saying is that when he flipped, he saw Pascal doing better than. I mean, pause, rewind. When he flipped, he saw Gonzalez doing better than Pascal the times he flipped. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the same way that someone sent me a link of all the times Keith Thurman looked bad versus Collazo and all the times Khan looked good versus Collazo. Like,
Right.
editing is editing, brother.
Editing is editing, but where is the future? That's what the problem is. All right, so what the future holds for Pascal? There's no. He's not a good fighter. He did terrible yesterday, and he lost.
Well, you know, we disagree. I don't know why you want to keep arguing with me. That there's callers here. Go ahead, brother.
I got a thing though, because I watched it from the beginning, right? But aren't you on record saying that you tuned in after the third round?
I'm on. See, man, you got to clean them ears, Jay. I'm on record saying I tuned in around the 7th or the 8th because people was begging me to, telling me it was fight of the year. And when I seen the fight, I stood on from 7 to 10th. I watched the decision, and I went back and watched the entire fight and even wrote down specific keys for every single round. It's in front of me, open right now on a window, everything that I wrote down per round. You guys are just calling in, talking about I was flipping between channels, I scored at 6-4. Y'all didn't watch the fight. Go watch it. If you like Mayweather, if you like Crawford, if you like Juan Manuel Marquez, you should have liked what Pascal was doing last night. Because somehow, some way, he made that dude miss 250, and he kept that dude off of him.
What's the
Because if he wasn't... Yo, the dude, Pascal only landed 300.
And the dude,
I mean,
Gonzalez,
threw 300. This dude threw 500, dude.
and landed.
He landed 163. 9 more punches than Pascal. Pascal landed 154. You see what I'm trying to get at, bro? He was making a miss because he is the counter puncher. That's what you do. You make a miss, you make him pay.
I'm gonna rewatch it.
Rewatch it.
I respect that.
I was really calling in for was with the Flores fight, and this is what question what I had for Beeb and Robbie and also James. I know James does training or used to. The Flores fight, I know that you guys say you didn't watch it, but Ness, you watched it. Is it to me or do they not teach cutting the ring off nowadays?
That's exactly what I was saying.
And his pops was telling him you got to cut the ring off, and he asked him how.
Well,
you don't know how to cut it off.
It was obvious last night that B.J. Flores was not prepared for the style that Schumanov brought into the ring, because remember in previous fights when he was at the light heavyweight division, Schumanov was more of a come forward type fighter. Last night he pulled something new out of the box. He put movement in his game and moved around the ring and totally confused what B.J. Flores was able to do, and Flores was unprepared for that. That's why you heard him in the corner when his dad said, well, you need to cut the ring off. That's why you heard him say, well, how am I supposed to do that? You know, that's exactly what happened last night. A different Schumanov showed up in the ring last night, and B.J. Flores was unprepared.
Credit to Ishmael Salas, man. Ishmael Salas, he was training Jesse Vargas for a time. He's got now, I believe he has Diego. No, not Diego. He has Jesse Magdaleno over there now too. You know, and I believe what's this kid's name from Japan, Robbie?
The one that fought Guerrero, is that the one you're thinking?
No,
of?
the one that lost to DeMarco in a really tough fight.
I can't remember his name.
Oh man, Jay, whatever. Go ahead, Jay. You finish?
No, other thing I was going to.
Whoa,
crazy.
You sound like you on Sprint over there.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, try it again.
Okay. No, I was going to say was Kathy Duva is crazy. That energy she gets guys. Basically, what she's been going out with is her versus the world, her versus PBC. When PBC has pretty much the majority of the fighters in her weight class. If anything, she's trying to have friends and have Kovalev be the guy knocking out the guys on PBC.
She can't because she said it on the interview. She sold her soul to HBO.
for guaranteed money. You can guarantee money, but who you know?
You breaking
Hey
up.
Jay, you got a real bad connection, player. We gonna holler at you. Scorsese, talk to me.
Real quick. See, that's what I'm.
You always say real quick when I go to somebody. You got to do that before I go to
Cause
somebody.
there's always a silence between you going to somebody and connecting.
I want to hear what he gonna say though.
Well, I don't know what's that buzz going on right.
That's Scorsese. As soon as he came on, we got buzzing.
I wanted to just say real.
Oh, I heard it too.
It is you every time you talk, see?
I wanted to say real quick about
muted and it was gone.
My real quick was more about like Kovalev's manager, HBO. Like, I don't like the whole signing to a network. It just doesn't make sense for the fans, to see a fighter against whoever because he signed to HBO, and then there's the other fighter signed to another network who can fight that fighter, and they both at the top of their careers. That's all I wanted to say real quick, and I just don't like the whole.
Well, you're going to have to talk to HBO and main events, Top Rank. They the ones doing that because PBC fighters fight on like 7 different networks.
Yeah, and that's what I like. I wish that the deals were fight the fight, not freaking,
Well, once upon a time it used to be that way. Promoters would sell a fight to a network, and the network would buy it. Sometimes they would even bid, see who's gonna win the fight. I think
that's where it should wind up in the end.
I think Melina Matisse was like that. Was HBO gonna pay for it, or was Showtime gonna pay for it? Scorsese, you gotta see if we could get you some words out of you without hearing you buzzing.
Spit it out.
You got me over there?
We hear you.
Got you.
Right. Well, as far as I'm glad you took my call. You should be too. I agree with you on Pascal. Like, I didn't score round per round, but damn, like Gonzalez looked like he just started boxing 4 weeks ago though. So he's just getting ran up under. Pascal coming up with hooks, and Jim Lampley like, oh, he just wobbled Pascal. I'm like, what is he looking at? And I'm sleepy and tired. I'm like, maybe he right, maybe he right, but he wasn't. I'm seeing Pascal looking like he's wobbled this cat. And he's saying Pascal's wobbly legged. I'm like, yeah, but if you know anything about Pascal, he does this shit every fight. So James said he was kind of washed up. Like, he the same dude that was fighting Dawson. He just sloppy as shit. It's entertaining to watch, but at the end of the day, if it's any other sport and I see 2 people just as sloppy as them, 2 teams sloppy as that, I got to turn from that shit. But, they was beating each other up, so it's all good. And I can agree with you. Either one could have won this fight. But for anybody calling and saying robbery, like they said the score, like Fight Doctor was saying 98, this shit was 96, 94. If you want to win a fight, quit getting hit so much. And if it would have went 10 rounds, everybody's so up on this Gonzalez dude, he was tired as shit by if it would have went 12 rounds, he was tired as shit by the 9th round.
Scorsese, I'm going to tell you something real quick. You know what I think it is? I'm going to tell you right now because you just clarified it in my brain. I think that people pick, like, the main fighter to come in and do justice from top to bottom, and that didn't happen yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Pascal did not do justice. His man came in, and he gave him a whole different fight.
You know why?
Why?
Because no one's perfect. Didn't you expect Mayweather to Pacquiao to be some magical surprise with sprinkles and fucking bombs and everything, and it wasn't.
And
that's not the way boxing is, man.
Yeah, but is promoted to be that way.
Ness called it. He said it was like a cherry pick going wrong. He had a chance to fight the other Cuban guy that you mentioned. I can't think of the name.
Sullivan Barrera, and he said hell to the no.
He got the chance to fight Barrera, and he said no. He brought in another guy. He got ripped for that in some threads I was reading, and it was a pick just going totally wrong. But he can make a play and fight other guys. Put a guy on HBO in front of Kovalev, and to say, hey, at least he can punch. That can sell. That's what they selling us. Triple G versus Lemieux with. This motherfucker can punch and he could take a punch. Well, Lemieux can't take a punch.
On pay-per-view. Don't forget that, because I want to know who has Mayweather fought anyone that's been knocked out.
But hold on, let me make a point in defense of Triple G, and then I kind of gotta pull back off of that defense because Stevenson is a champion and he's been knocked out. But at the end of the day, Steve.
Oh, no. But it's not the same thing. What I'm trying to say is on pay-per-view, bruh. Has
Well, yeah,
has
that
has
is the
has
aspect.
Mayweather fought someone that's been knocked out? I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan.
Cotto got knocked
You
out
a
by
fan,
Pacquiao.
stop it.
Margarito.
Oh yeah, by Pacquiao.
That's about Cotto. You might look and see Victor Ortiz got stopped with Maidana, but they all came back and won
True,
like
true. That's 2
fights.
knockouts. That's 2 knockouts.
You look at David Lemieux. He did win a fight, but he was getting out. But he was getting out by Rosado.
I'm saying though, listen, check it out. Check what you said though, right? Because that has to be taken into perspective. And I'm glad you said it because it sounds good for my point, right? You said it. Maidana stopped Victor Ortiz. Maidana, he's not a bad fighter. You know, he showed that in his fight with Mayweather.
You gonna tell me who his opponent was? You're right.
And who else you said got knocked out? Cotto. We talking about Cotto being knocked out by Pacquiao. That sounds okay, but when you talk about Lemieux getting knocked out by Marco Antonio Rubio and you want to sell me this shit on pay-per-view, it better be $29.99. It better be $29.99.
I asked for 35 or less.
Or $19.99.
They saying Mayweather not gonna take advantage of the pay-per-view market. We can see where Triple G is at, but then they gotta remember Floyd ain't set on CBS yet. So if he come, I think that fight goes. Because they know they got to sell us Canelo. Well, that fight going to sell anyway, but we stingy, though, man. At least I am. So, I don't know, man. I don't want to pay for that shit, but I want to watch it. But at the end of the day, I know the outcome.
What's the outcome? Say it.
A Triple G by KO. I mean,
right, exactly.
KO, but
So let me ask you another question, because you kind of like my favorite caller right now, dropping education. So what's next for Pascal, since he did so well against Gonzalez, a sloppy brawler, mindless brawler on top of that?
Enrique, stop it.
I want to know. I want to be educated.
So you didn't hear the telecast say that he's going to get a rematch? They was
No,
talking
they
about
said
it all
possibly.
night.
They asked about it. So, all right, so you telling me HBO said that's sold and done?
Why you think he was on the undercard, man? I mean, how long you been watching boxing? He on the undercard. They selling them to you. The commentators is telling you whoever wins this fight.
Do you buy the next fight, Pascal versus Kovalev? Is that the next fight you want to see?
Is there someone else in that HBO realm that could even fight Kovalev? Unless you're gonna accept Isaac Chilemba,
I don't even know Isaac Chilemba.
Well, there you go. That's all main events got left, man. Isaac Chilemba is the only dude that's ever been on HBO before who they could possibly ask HBO, would they say yes? But they still might say no. Go ahead, Scorsese.
I thought when Pascal Kovalev 1 happened, I was like two of the only people to pick Pascal. And what's next for him, like they already laid it out. And then I actually saw an article. He's gonna take another like a interim touch or something like that, a cupcake pretty much. And there's no cupcakes with him, as you just saw. So ain't shit set in stone for him. But it's supposed to be Kovalev next. And
hell no. Let me tell you something. I got this boy record pulled up for a long time right here, and he got a lot of cupcakes. I mean, he got names I ain't never even heard of.
I mean, he gonna have one, but even
one,
shit,
man, I'm talking about dozens.
I'm talking about his next fight. He asked me what's next for him, though.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
talking
but
about
look, if you look, every time he's took a loss, he get dozens of tune-ups. After the Frotch loss, who the hell is Pablo Daniel Zamora Nieves, Andre Diaconu? He fought him twice. Silvio
Did
Bronco.
you remember the shit that happened in his last fight where the dude took a shot and act like he was hurt or something? It's like shit goes wrong in those.
Yeah,
man.
Because
he fight funny
used to be the champ, Ness. Diaconu used to be the WBC lightweight champion.
Yeah, nobody. You know that. After he lost to Pascal, he lost twice to Pascal. Then he fought Omar Shika. Anybody remember Omar Shika? Because I do.
Guy was awesome. He was a great fighter.
Yeah, and that's how old he is. And then after that, who'd he lose to? Chad Dawson. Has he fought since? Hell no. Andre Diaconu ain't nothing but a name. That's it. A name. This dude is not even from he's from Romania. Like, come on, man, get out.
Well, you can't make fun of where he's from. That's not
After that, he lost twice to Hopkins. One was only a draw. The other one was a loss, but we both know they was draws. Then he fought dudes I can't pronounce again. Kuzmicki, George Blaze, Lucian Boutte is the only win on this dude's resume. Him and Dawson.
Kaminsky beat Dawes. You talking about Kaminsky? Who he fought? No, not Kaminsky. The dude that beat Dawson.
No, the dude that beat Dawson is Karpency. This is this dude is from Poland. This loser, you know, he lost to Nadudu Numdu.
But
That's
I mean,
who he lost to. No, that's really who he lost to.
They gotta give Kovalev though.
Yeah, but that's really who he lost to. Box record.
Doom doom num doom.
They gonna give them. They gotta sell us Kovalev.
Well, they could give Yunieski. They probably give Yunieski Gonzalez a shot at Kovalev, which was unfair too, because they thought he won. But all right, let's just imagine that he did win, right? Let's imagine it wasn't a robbery. He did win. He got the win. Is he ready for fucking Kovalev? Like, why is they rushing this dude? He 18-0, and they want him to fight Kovalev. Like, man, they beasting over there. They don't care about the fighter at all. They just want to put on Kovalev destructions. What the hell indicated that he was ready for Kovalev? This dude's not even turning over punches. That's why I don't see how y'all scored it from him. He's not even turning them over. He just landing because the glove got cotton on it. He not landing with the part you're supposed to land with. I don't know. Listen, Scorsese, let me get to some other callers. Sam Mills, talk to me.
Peace, Scorsese.
Hello?
Hello, Sam Mills, talk to me.
Yeah, that's I'd just like to say that I thought I didn't really watch the Pascal fight, but I watched bits of it, and I thought Pascal was getting shook up with right hands. His knees kept on kind of dipping, and I kind of think like because Pascal's such a muscly like type of fighter, isn't he? Like he's heavily built, very athletic, and that affects him late on in fights. So when he gets into like the later stages of fights, he throws dead wild because he's throwing, coming like dead tired. And he just throws wildly, so at times he was getting caught. I think that Gonzalez did well. I thought it was a close fight, to be honest. And, oh yeah, about Kovalev, Main Events just put up, as an article anyway, I think it was on Ring TV, saying that Kafidiva wanted Kovalev to fight Beterbiev in November. And GM Promotions, is that the guy's name?
Yes.
He said that that they're willing to fight on HBO in November in Russia. That's what.
That's yet to be seen. That's yet to be seen because, as far as I know, all of Yvonne Michaels' fighters are with Al Heyman, and Beterbiev is one guy I know is with Al Heyman. And I'm not saying it can't happen because, as you know, we've seen Chris Arreola fight on HBO after HBO said they wouldn't deal with Al Heyman, and we've seen Edwin Rodriguez fight on HBO after they said they wouldn't deal with Al Heyman. So I'm not saying that can't happen.
Yeah, maybe, but it's good that he's like open with that fight because I don't think Beterbiev is ready yet for Kovalev. He's still green to me.
Me either. You know who would be a great fight for Beterbiev?
Who? Fonfora would be good, I think.
No, Gonzalez, because Gonzalez seems like he ain't going away. He could take a very good shot. Let's see if Beterbiev could take the shots because. And you know what? He's not even an accurate puncher, man. Give Beterbiev Pascal, who could land a nice clean shot.
That would be a good fight as well.
That's Yunieski Gonzalez, right?
Oh, you know that Pascal not taking that dangerous fight. You kidding me? He gonna get in there with Kovalev and get the real bucks.
Pascal should have fought Stevenson.
Well,
that would have been in Canada as well.
He chose to vacate. Even if he would have won, he didn't want that WBC ranking, so he didn't want to go on the other side of town. Listen, Sam, you know you got a buzz, man. Listen to it on the playback. I'm gonna get to some other people. You got a buzz every time you talk. I don't know if you got a new mic or whatever it is, but it is something. Let me see. We got 225. You're live. Who's this? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Bucky boy?
What's up?
Sound like Fight Doctor.
Hey, first thing I'm gonna say is my boy James said that this fight was that bad, but it was way better than the Herrera and Hank London fight he was praising.
Which fight?
Gonzalez.
He said that Pascal and Gonzalez fight was horrible, but it was way better than the Hank London fight and Herrera. But I like to say a couple things right quick, Ness. You know, been trying to get on here for a minute, you know.
let me get this off. I was checking out this fight last night, and the difference between HBO and PBC is the promoters. You know, this kid Gonzalez, he was hungry, bro. He won this fight, and he deserved to win this fight. He had more heart. He stayed in the pocket a little longer. He took the punch. He gave the punch. He controlled the tempo of the fight. He did everything to win this fight. Even though he threw a lot of punches, it didn't land, but he was aggressive. Now, Mayweather don't, when you say that Mayweather thing, Mayweather don't, you don't throw a bunch of punches on Mayweather because you're too scared to throw. He wasn't scared to throw on Pascal, even though he was getting hit with some clean shots. So, main event, they didn't want to mess up this Kovalev and Pascal rematch because Pascal and Kovalev both made almost 3.5 last time for the first fight. And that was the biggest purse Kovalev's ever made. He only had, 500,000 with that Bernard Hopkins fight? And they did that pay-per-view in Canada with Pascal and Kovalev, and both of them got 3.5. Main event, no once Kovalev fight the dude he just beat. His two top people is lined up to fight him with the IBF #1, and that's Better Beef, and the WBA #1 is from Flores. So Al Heyman really got main event by the throat right now, because what they gonna let other person is the WBO, and that's other guy that main event got Chumberlain. Nobody ain't gonna pay to see that. So either she try to cash out, make another nice pay with Pascal, or be ready to go for a purse bid with Al Heyman, or drop the titles. That's something they're gonna have to do like that. And then you see, but that's what made me mad. That's what I liked about the PBC, because they cater more to the fans instead of the promoter. Because if the Gonzalez kid, just say the Gonzalez kid would have won, and he didn't have no fan base behind him, the guy straight out of Cuba, no fan base. Well, by you watching PBC as a whole, you don't have to worry about just because this guy don't have a fan base and he can't sell tickets to it's like 1,000. I mean, like 12,000 Mexicans don't want to come see them, or Irishmen or whatever don't want to come see them. PBC as a whole is like the NFL. No, you might not have a good team. Your team might not be good, but you still gonna want to watch the game. So that's how it is with PBC, and that's what I like. Is it cater more to the fighter than the promoter. Promoters, like, if he's not gonna sit, like, catch a dude with him, like, if this guy's not gonna sell us these tickets, and we can't make Kovalev make a lot of money off of him, what's the reason even trying to get this guy a shot? Because this is our voluntary. Even though this guy might have beat upset Pascal and knocked him out in one. But what PBC do is he put it in place. If you win, you're going to get that fight. Because don't worry about that. The money going to be there. The fan base going to be there because they're going to come to see people.
No, not only that, brother. Not only that. I don't mean to interrupt, but I have to say that if you lose, you still going to get a fight. Because it's guys on PBC that we watch lose that come back. See, right now, casual fan likes Gonzalez. He said that's his new favorite fighter. We're not sure if we're going to see Gonzalez again, though.
We're not. We probably won't. But my favorite fighter against Kovalev.
He won't be going on HBO.
Definitely not. That's why he was crying at the end. But, Nah, but that's a good point. PBC is a powerhouse, and HBO is a fighter, an individual fighter highlight movie. They make a movie about one star, where PBC makes the movie about the company.
Exactly. But listen, Al Heyman worked with Golden Boy and Top Rank closely. And you know what? You can't tell me Al Heyman didn't see that Mayweather versus Canelo split decision where that one judge gave it. C.J. Ross gave that fight to Canelo. And then what about that Lauren Canelo? Even though everybody said it was a close fight, my eye test told me Laura win. But look at that one judge had it way. Two judges had one for Canelo by 1 round, one for Laura by 1 round. Then you had the other judge with a way out the way thing for Canelo. And then for this Nadjib and Lemieux fight, even though Lemieux won. But look at the purse bid. They said the purse bid was supposed to be $100,000. They won. Golden Boy bid for this fight and won this fight. Won this fight. And they end up splitting $100,000 between Nadjib and Lemieux. And then the backstory comes to find out Lemieux got like $900,000, something like that, on the table for the fight. But it's supposed to be a purse split where everybody get 50-50. You know what I'm saying? That all the promoters a lot of promoters are greedy and they just worrying about themselves. They taking away from the fighter and they taking away from the fans. And I like that what the PBC movement. I appreciate y'all defending this for the fans and keeping everything going. You know, and I would get on my other little thing I got, but I'm gonna keep it fair because I got this other little thing about this GGG thing. I know you don't want to get into this tonight, Ness. I guess I'll catch you on another night and do it.
Hey, brother, listen, as long as you can convince one of my co-hosts, I'm ready to do another one Tuesday sometime about Triple G, you know, Lemieux being pay-per-view, because I'm not happy about that. Look, I love the fight. I know it's going to be action, but it's ridiculous. Listen, but 225.
Come on, man. This is a HBO fight at best.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, nobody's not. Come on. Lemieux just lost to
Rubio.
Rubio a little back. Then he lost another fight after that. And then in the Nadjib fight, it wasn't nothing spectacular. He took Nadjib to the 12th and he gassed out. Peter Quillen dropped Nadjib 6 times and whooped him all 12 rounds. So it wasn't like this. I'm just not big on Lemieux yet. Oh, good, he beat
I'm gonna tell you the Lemieux gas up. I was gassed up with Lemieux, of course, because of telecast and because he beat by blood stoppage, what's the Philadelphia Rosado, and before that, who did he fight? Who did he fight before Rosado? Well, whoever it was, they bigged him up really big, and they made him feel like the guy to be the next one. And him against Triple G tonight, I learned that it's not gonna happen against Triple G. Lemieux will probably be stopped. And it'll make Triple G look bigger. So,
well, I mean, listen, what Lemieux does present is the power, quote unquote, to hurt
Triple G.
But I seen Curtis Stevens hit Triple G with 2 fairly consecutive shots that were fairly decent. They had very good power on them, and they did nothing. So I don't really think that Lemieux can do it. I don't think Lemieux can stick around long enough to do it. That's the biggest problem. You can have all the power that you want, but can you take Triple G's power while you're trying to deliver it? Because he's punching while you're punching.
Right.
He's punching while you're punching, and he's coming forward. He's stalking. He's body shotting. This dude's not playing. Listen,
Mexican style.
Ain't no Mexican style.
Nah, Russian style. Destroying style.
Destroying
Okay.
style. 773. Who's this?
Yo, what up? This Santana.
Santana, what up?
What up? Ness, you said that Pascal kept Gonzalez off of him?
Yeah, I think that he used counter punches and clinching to keep him off. Yes, he always made Gonzalez reset. He clinched him, and when he wasn't clinching, he was down low where Gonzalez barely could land any shots. And while he was down low, he was coming up with the occasional left hook or overhand right.
Yeah, I had Gonzalez winning that fight. I felt like he brought the fight to Pascal. He made him fight his fight.
Me too.
Pascal hit him with counter punches, but he got rocked back. Like when he hit him with the counter punch, he got rocked right back. It wasn't like he counter punch him and lead a pocket.
Yeah, but Santana, I know that you're intelligent. How did you see those punches, though? When he was landing those punches, Gonzalez was, how did they look? Did they look clean? Did they look effective? The positioning of that fist is what worries me. It felt like he didn't care to hit him with the front of the fist. He just wanted the glove to touch.
But it was good enough to wobble Pascal a couple of times, actually.
Hey, and maybe if he would straighten up them whack-ass shots, it would have been good enough to knock him out. So that's exactly my point. If you're not landing flush, you're not hurting him. Pascal's face didn't look as bad as the other dude. And that's the truth. And you guys keep saying that this dude was whooping Pascal's ass. Yet Pascal didn't have not one welt on his face, but Gonzalez sure did. Because one guy was landing the punches correctly.
It ain't about how the fighter look after it's over. It's about who did more, and you biased to boxers. I don't feel like you should judge fights like that. It's whoever win more rounds. It don't matter if you're a boxer or a brawler.
A mindless brawler on top of that could win a boxer, and that's what happened last night.
Right. But no,
I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm biased to boxers. I just appreciate what they do. I know that it takes skill to do what they do. I think that if I were in a fight with any one of you, I wouldn't want any one of you to touch me. So how is that wrong? If I could win the fight and you can't hit me, how is that wrong? I could go out clubbing after I beat you up. You got to go to the hospital or go get changed. There's a problem. You lost the fight. So I like not being hit. I'd rather hit.
Oh yeah, I like boxers too, but I feel like you shouldn't judge a fight off of who's the boxer and who's the brawler. You know.
Well, I'm not judging it. I never said that. I never said that. But the guy that chooses to box, and if he's more effective at boxing than the brawler is at coming forward and cutting off the ring, because again, you call in week after week. It ain't like you dumb. Did he cut the ring off, or was Pascal able to circle out every time?
Yeah, he was able to circle out.
All right then. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys keep saying this dude did so much good stuff, but in the same breath, you're saying that he didn't do certain things. And
But Ness,
I mean,
that's a
it's
skill.
obvious.
That's a skill to circle out, right? Yes or no?
I mean, I guess it takes skill.
Right.
I don't circle
All
out.
right. Circle out. You just said that was not being able to be cut off by Gonzalez, but Gonzalez landed the man that was circling out, and also cut him off and landed. I seen Pascal in the corner more than once yesterday.
Cut him off and landed. I don't know.
I seen Pascal in the corner. I was watching it especially for that. Like, damn, is he like? Let me see if he cuts him off. And he was in the corner.
What is cut him off? Show me what that is. Tell us what is your example of Gonzalez cutting the ring off to Pascal, because now you lying and you're gonna be caught on camera.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. You put me on the spot, but I'm gonna correct myself right now. Let me correct that. I'm watching the fight different. I'm like, okay, let's see what Gonzalez could do. Right? I'm seeing the first round. I'm thinking immediately when I see Gonzalez's record, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Immediately I see Gonzalez's record, I'm like, there's a threat here because he got a 0, and it was a fight. There was a fight when it started. And then they're fighting, and Pascal is circling, but he's getting caught in the corner, and he escapes the corner, but he's getting hit, and he buckles. And it wasn't only once, it was more than once. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So there's no lie. He was cut off. Could he circle and escape a cut off? Yeah. But was he cut off?
I don't even think he was circling. I think predominantly he was backing straight up like he always does. He doesn't circle very well at all.
Yeah, but he still was cut off.
But he wasn't being caught on the ropes, though. That's what I'm saying. And even when he was on the ropes, he would duck down low. His ass will touch the second belt, and this dude wouldn't land no punches because he can't punch down.
I think you're giving Pascal a little bit too much credit. Casual fan. I don't even think he was moving to side. I think he was moving straight back.
I'm giving him too much credit.
No, he means in your assessment,
in your assessment of him circling. I don't even think he was doing that. I think he was backing straight up.
Listen, you guys are very hard-headed, okay? I told you we don't agree. Let's let the callers.
Yeah, I agree.
First of all, the undercard outshined the main event.
Oh my God!
And it's because of the Gonzalez fight.
Yo, let the callers burn.
Because we're gonna go back and forth. Like, you think what you think, I think what I think. It is what it is. That's
You're right. I was just correcting his point. That's all.
No, I know that. I'm telling him he's the one that keep going back to the same shit.
Casual. You know what I'm saying? The sport's subjective. We're gonna see it one way. He's gonna see it the other. We can't change him, bro.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you can't say I'm wrong. That's my opinion. Your opinion. Let's just hear the rest of the callers' opinion.
Yeah. We're at.
I mean, look, Santana sees it your way, so you're winning. Most of the callers see it like you guys seen it.
Yeah, we're at a standstill right now, Casual. We ain't gonna turn it.
All right. What is that?
But I want to talk about that Triple G David Lemieux fight. Like, it's a great fight, but not no pay-per-view now. Like, Triple G, he beats Willie Monroe. Now he's a pay-per-view star.
Well, I don't know what HBO is doing here because, look, this is an HBO fight. This should not be pay-per-view. I mean, it's going to be a good fight, but why do we have to pay for it? I don't get that.
I'm telling you, I don't like this. This is not right. This is not right. Lemieux is no pay-per-view B-side. Like saying Lemieux, that's like saying that Lemieux is Martinez in the Chavez fight, or that Lemieux is Bradley. Bradley Marquez wasn't even pay-per-view. This is crazy.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was? All right. Well, still in all, Bradley's a pound for pound, and so was Marquez. You know, like this is not right. Is it a good fight? Yes, because there's gonna be haters. There's gonna take our words and twist them. Look, I like the fight. I'm gonna probably pay for the fight. Unfortunately.
This is even a good fan. This is a good way to sell this fight to the casual fans. So why would you make it pay-per-view, especially if Triple G is supposed to fight the winner Canelo
Listen,
and Cotto?
they mess up so big here. They messed up so big here because we didn't look. I'm a hardcore fan. I still have not watched Lemieux versus Ndam. I didn't watch that. It was on Fox Sports. I didn't watch that. I said it for mad weeks on this show. I didn't watch that. So how about all the casual fans that didn't tune into Fox Sports? All of a sudden now they just got to assume that Lemieux was this guy? Give us a fight on HBO with this dude at least. We're going to go off of what? Rosado? His last time on HBO was Rosado? Like, it's not right, man. Listen, you went somewhere else, N10. I'm going to let you go. Let me get to some other caller. I got to get out of here early today. I'm hungry. 646, you're up. Who's this?
Yo, what up, Ness? What up, casual fan? What up, Eve? What up, Ringside Robert? What up, James? Chris out of New York. I have to say I'm in disagreement with you tonight, Ness. I definitely think Gonzalez got the decision over Pascal. I had it 6 rounds to 4. I think that Pascal did a lot of, he was ducking below the waist, and a lot of times he was on wobbly legs. Although I don't agree with it. I actually had to mute it at some points because I think it was around like round 4, or it was one of those exchanges where they were saying that Pascal was, was getting rocked. In reality, it was actually Gonzalez. So after that, I had to mute it. But,
so funny. So funny. He brings up, he said round 4, but he meant to say round 5, right? Wasn't it round 5? I think that was the round that I said where it was.
Actually, that was.
Oh no, 6. It was round 6. So you're off by a couple of rounds, but that's the same round casual fan fell in love with.
I had to mute it because it was crazy. Jim Ramsey's got to be one of the worst commentators. But I wanted to also talk about this guy, John David Jackson. He's done a lot of amazing work with Kovalev and the improvements of Chris Algieri. But he said that he thinks that Andre Ward makes 4 key mistakes and that Kovalev will KO Ward. Now, I know everybody's been trying to preach the Ward and Golovkin fight, but I would much rather see Ward versus Kovalev. I think that's a more intriguing fight. I think that Kovalev has a lot of skills and a lot of power, and he's able to box from the outside, but I think that Ward has more tools to his game than more so than Kovalev. I mean, Ward has showed multiple dimensions games. He showed he can fight on the inside. He shows he can fight backing up. He shows he can, he can shell up. He shows that he can cut the ring off. He shows that he can fight, going backwards. I've only seen one thing from Kovalev, and that's destructive power, and it's been the ability to cut the ring off. I don't know if he has any other tools in his game. I'm sure that he does, but I believe that, Ward would be the favorite going into that fight, and I don't think that Kovalev is going to KO Ward.
Yeah, I don't think he'll KO Ward either. Even though Ward did go down with Darnell Boom, Hopkins went down with a few people, but he didn't KO Hopkins. And I've always said Ward is a craftier or younger version of Hopkins. Listen, 646 Chris, thanks for calling in. We are jumping on drive-by early here. Not necessarily drive-by, but we are keeping it moving because we got to get to a lot of callers, and I need to eat. 718 QB, what up?
What up, Ness? What's good, man?
Chilling, brother.
Yeah, man. Let me break down the fights, whatever, man. Well, you know what I'm saying? Casual fan, what up, Ness? All y'all, man. B.
What up?
You know what I'm saying?
What's happening?
All y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me break it down, man. That fight with Kovalev, you know what I'm saying? What's up with Kovalev fixing his gloves? Like, he be like mooching his hand, trying to get his hand so close to the. I mean, that's one of his tactics. What he do, like, he got power anyway, but still, like, you ever seen how he do it with his gloves? It's like he keep mashing and trying to make his fist come closer to the surface or whatever he trying to do, man. But you know what I'm saying? The fight with Pascal and all that, yeah, that good win for Pascal, man. That was a good fight, man. But that dude, like I said, that dude young, man, you know what I'm saying? His record is young. I don't know. He looked like an older dude, like Ness was saying. But Pascal.
Yo, you know what's funny? Ken Porter texted in and he said that he's young. He grew up on his national team, and that Isaiah's a pretty good fighter.
Okay. Well, Pascal was landing the more flusher shots. You know what I'm saying? I scored it, you know what I'm saying? 7 rounds to 4, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not 7 rounds to 4, 8 to 4. 8 to 4. That's why I scored the 8 to 4. Because body was swinging wild and all that, but Pascal was hitting the flush, man. Flusher more, man. And that's just my opinion. I don't know why he was crying. I guess he was crying because, but, you know, HBO
QB, that was only a 10-round fight, so you couldn't have scored 12.
I'm bugging, man. You know what I mean, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I've been drinking, man, a little bit, but yeah. But it wasn't no. Let me just listen, man. I'm just out of it, man.
Me, that's all good,
I
man.
love all y'all, man. But yo, don't talk about me because you know what I'm saying. I'm out of my mind right now.
QB, that's all
I'm
good.
listening,
I know what you meant, bro.
All right, man.
But yo, did you see Southpaw?
I see you at the Barclays Center, man.
I'll be there. QB, did you see Southpaw? You watched Southpaw this weekend?
Nah, I ain't see the movie yet.
Oh, you don't care about it?
We had a lot of fights this weekend. It was tough to see. I haven't even watched it, but I am gonna watch it. And
It's a great ass movie. I enjoy the shit. Jim Lampley, Tony Weeks is in it. Victor Ortiz is in it. Collazo gets a debut.
Victor Ortiz is some sort of executive producer on it or something. Him and the director. Yeah. Listen, I want to watch it and I want to do a review on it as well because you know it's boxing.
I enjoyed it.
Suleiman, talk to us, brother. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Beep.
No, I was gonna say don't have him spoil it for us, man.
No, I'm not spoiling it.
Nah, we're gonna watch it. So our listeners, you guys got to go check it out too, so we can all, you know, talk about it when we do a review show. Suleiman, you're live.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
How's everyone tonight? Yeah, I want to get into this fight, the HBO card. First of all, this is boxing. This is not MMA. Okay. You know, boxing is determined on technique. I mean, you know, like is hit and not get hit. Okay. And the jab is a key tool in the boxing match. Okay. The HBO card, those fighters are all the prime fighters. They're coming in top physical shape. That's what people don't understand. And these guys are all students of the game. And a lot of people were watching that card. Even Kovalev, they say that he only watched 2 rounds. I think he watched more than that from the room in the back. You know, I forgot what they call it, the training room, the preparing room. But he was watching the fight, and he made adjustments for his fight because of the fight, because of the Jean Pascal fight. Okay, he started implementing the jab more in his fight because of that. Yunieski Gonzalez, he came into the fight. He was very tight, very tense. He was trying to impress. He was trying to do like a better beef, like what better beef did to Tabova's Cloud, but it didn't work out. He was loading up too early on the fight, and he blew his wad. Maybe by the 4th round, he was already exhausted. He looked spent by the 4th round on. And I think that's what Jean Pascal wanted. Jean Pascal tested him out in the 1st round. He showed the kid had some power. The kid was trying to impress. He wasn't sitting down on the punches. He was just throwing, like you throw right and right from as soon as he lands right, he throws a huge left hook. And if he would have sat back and laid back on his punches, he would have threw the right, then landed the left hook. And also he didn't throw no uppercuts through the whole fight. Okay, so Jean Pascal, he measured his skill level by the 1st round and made adjustments. When he threw a right hand, he would nullify the power by bending his head, by bending down. And he knew the kid was going to throw uppercut. If the kid would have landed uppercut in the fight, he probably would have knocked Pascal out. And also Pascal's a smaller fighter, but he makes it up in muscle. He's built like an ox, and he does have skill in the legs. I don't think he had a stamina problem. The problem is that he was trying to nullify the kid's power. And the kid had a couple. It was unbeaten. It looks like he fought low-level fighters because he didn't go to the next level. Okay, so the fight wasn't stolen. I think Pascal did enough to win the fight, and it was a training lesson for that kid so he could learn how to do the game. I think the kid's not listening to his trainer because even his trainer smacked him up in the corner when he started losing the fight by, I think, in the 9th round. And then the kid at the end, the reason everybody's saying he lost the fight and being all emotional because the kid was emotional. He was crying, oh, pelea, yo vine a pelear, pero perdito. He was crying, and people made a big deal about it, but the kid lost the fight. Okay, now to go to the championship fight, the fight that everybody wants to fight was Sergey Kovalev, the Krusher. He went into a fight against a real good fighter that was had a winning streak. The guy came in with a proper game plan. He was jabbing, he was moving around. He tried to test Kovalev's chin. He pissed off Kovalev when he did that. He even did this thing in the 1st or 2nd round with the gloves. They annoyed Kovalev. I noticed Kovalev is very easy to annoy. And Kovalev started teeing off and dropped him in the 2nd round. By the 1st round, the kid looked a little spent. He looked like he can't take the power. He's trying to move a lot. He showed good reflexes, but he was too small. I think if this kid cuts down on his weight, he could do 168. He'd be much better at 168. 175 is not for him. This is the guy everybody was watching, and he made adjustments even before he got into the ring because of Jean Pascal. Jean Pascal has a style that he could nullify punching power. He's been in the ring, I think, in 175 division with all the punches, and he has survived. He only been knocked out by one fighter, and that's Kovalev. So Better Beef will knock both of those fighters. I think Better Beef will knock out Pascal, and Better Beef will knock out Gonzalez. Pascal picked Gonzalez because he knew the kid didn't have the skills to beat him. He avoided Sullivan Barrera because Barrera is an animal. So he avoided him. He picked Gonzalez for it. That's what people don't know. Okay, so HBO is putting up book cards. Now, the thing with Triple G is coming in top physical shape. He's probably pushing for the pay-per-view. They want to see how it's going to work out. They see if people are going to buy it. If people are going to, get taste the bait and pay for the fights. I think what Lemieux is doing the right thing. Lemieux is going for the big fish now. He's not doing what all these other middleweights are doing. They're going for the little fishes, try to build up for the big fish, like Billy Joe Saunders. He says, "Oh, I don't want to fight Triple G. I'm gonna wait. If I win, I'm gonna wait till he's starting to slide." Lemieux, what he's doing, he's going for the big fish right away. He's picking the big dog right away to win, and I think that's a good move because if he beats him, he's gonna be a star. And if he loses and he loses good, he's still gonna be a star and have a chance to win a title. And that's good for Triple G because he unify another belt, and it's going to be forcing Miguel Cotto or Canelo to fight him next. So right away, everything is pretty good. Andre Ward is still in the mix. He has a skill level. He has a talent. I think he could fight anybody in from 175, 168 to 160 and be competitive because of his skill asset. He could fight from a southpaw stance. He could do it all. He's a thinking fighter. He's another Floyd Mayweather. And you even saw signs of it when he fought Paul Smith, because he's thinking in the ring. He wants to tweak all his style out, and that's what Kovalev needs to fight. And Kovalev is starting to do that. He's showing it in this fight, and he uses a jab a lot, which is good. And he comes in, he mixes it up. This is what Gonzalez has to do. Gonzalez has to learn how to fight like Kovalev. If Gonzalez starts mimicking Kovalev, he's going to be an effective fighter.
Well, Suleiman, thank you, brother. We're going to move on. Get to some other callers. We're trying to finish up by 10 here. 623, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
What up, man? New caller.
All right, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut, he is
Mike.
All right, Mike.
What's up, man? Just had a little battle with you on Twitter about the Berto Mayweather and Nicolas.
Yeah, I don't even know why would you call that a battle, because I've never said that I'm willing or happy to pay for Berto Mayweather. Remember, Berto Mayweather news has still and has always been free TV. I've never said that I'm happy for. So for you to compare Berto Mayweather and say, oh, I'm willing to pay for Mayweather Berto, but I'm not willing to pay for Lemieux Triple G is crazy. No, what's crazy is you putting words in my mouth.
All right, man. My bad then. But I was just I wanted to tell you guys about the. Oh, I saw James at the Iron Boy fights last night.
Oh, that's
nice
awesome.
To see him there.
Cool. Yeah, he dropped off. He had to go handle something with his wife, but he should be back on.
Yeah, I saw him there. Said hi to him and stuff. Yeah, anyways, about the Gonzalez and Pascal fight, I thought it was a kind of an even fight, but I get what you're saying, Ness, about the countering punching that he was trying to do, because Gonzalez was coming in kind of wild, but even that, I don't even think you're making it seem like Pascal was like the master counter puncher, like Marcus. He was doing some counter punching, but he wasn't that effective with it, you know. But I mean, I can see Pascal. I can see even a draw on this fight. I don't see it too big of a win for either side. As far as Kovalev, don't even want to mention that fight. We all knew what was gonna happen. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm not, and about the Triple G and Lemieux fight. I mean, I'm not okay with it being a pay-per-view, but I mean, if it is, I mean, I'm gonna have to buy it because it's gonna be action. Plus, if they have Viloria and Chocolatito on it, you know, I'll pay $40.
Yeah, I didn't hear. I watched the Unanimous card, and I didn't hear Viloria saying he was fighting Chocolatito next. So I don't know where you're getting that from.
What's a better fight? Lemieux, Triple G, or Berto Mayweather? What would you rather pay for, Ness?
I mean, I would rather.
You're asking me that?
No, I'm asking him. I'm asking Ness that. I said Ness.
Oh.
I would rather pay for Lemieux. I wouldn't. No, I'm not paying for either. That's just the bottom line.
You have to pick one.
Okay. If I have to pick one, then yeah, Lemieux Triple G, because I think that Lemieux presents more danger to Triple G than Berto to Mayweather.
Great.
Especially if it's not gonna be $70 and they're gonna make it.
Yo, listen, brothers, forget about the money. They're making us pay for it. It's not fair.
It is not fair. It is not fair. But I mean, think about it. I know what they're doing. They're doing it because they want to get this man Triple G on pay-per-view, so he can be on there, so he can have a little taste of pay-per-view. So when he faces Cotto or Canelo, it can be more of a attraction on pay-per-view. You know what I mean?
What do you think is going through Andre Ward's mind right now that HBO is putting this guy on pay-per-view before him? He must be fuming.
Well, he. I don't think that he's fuming. I mean, because he knows that fight.
Get him on the phone. I want to ask him.
That fight is always going to be available to him, I think.
Robbie, call him up, Robbie, call him up.
So listen, this guy is saying that, Robbie, I know you read more than everyone over here, but this guy is saying that Mayweather Berto is pay-per-view now. It's no longer going to be on free TV. Is that true?
Well, there was an article out saying that Floyd did not agree to the CBS wanting to put it on free TV. He wants it on pay-per-view, but I think the powers that be at CBS is going to win out, and I think it will be on free TV. But apparently that is still being negotiated, believe it or not.
See, look at this. A boxing official involved in negotiations but not authorized to discuss details publicly told the Times. If you ain't authorized, how you telling the Times? Okay, but anyway, that 90% likely that Mayweather will fight on Showtime. Originally, CBS emerged as a player with Mayweather interested in exploring whether advertising revenue could support a fight of his magnitude. So, but this site, I never even heard of him. Sun Times. Have anybody heard of him?
My source is telling me that Heyman and CBS wanted on CBS, and Mayweather does not want it on CBS. Whether or not he can be convinced, whether or not he can be compensated to be persuaded to let the fight be on CBS, that remains to be seen. He seems to think that he can make more money on pay-per-view. He wants back-end money. I don't know how much back-end money he can actually generate putting this fight on pay-per-view. If he's going to get his $32 million guarantee, if he's going to get his $32 million guarantee, though, either way, what difference does it make? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm going to get to
I got one more question for you guys. One more question, real quick. So Showtime has a deal with Mayweather. They paid him this money to be on there for 5 fights or whatever.
6.
So they don't get to dictate which is Mayweather's next opponent?
No.
Why does Mayweather have to
Yeah. No. They get to dictate because he can say who he wants to fight. They don't have to approve it.
No, they don't dictate. They get to agree or disagree.
Yeah, they get to approve.
Yeah, but he's the type of guy that he'll sit there and not fight if they won't let him do what he wants. I mean, they pretty much let him do what he wants. I mean.
And keep one thing in mind: CBS owns Showtime, so.
Exactly, Robbie. Exactly.
Right, but Mayweather is.
All right, let me get to some other callers here. We got 508 coming up. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Yo.
Georgie Porgy.
Man, I'm mad at you tonight, bro.
Whoa! What else is new?
Yo, when aren't you mad at me,
What
brother?
else is new?
When you agree.
Let me get my call in real quick, bro. The other week, fucking Thurman, he didn't look that good. So my lying eyes were lying to me. Now you're telling me the announcers of the show, the Pascal show, they can put the volume every time fucking Gonzalez like a punch, and he sound a lot louder than when Pascal like a punch. That's what you're telling them. My lying ears are lying to me.
I didn't understand, but okay.
You understand what I'm saying? You're telling me that the announcers of the show, they can control the volume every time Gonzalez lang a punch and make it sound 75% louder than when Pascal lang a punch. That's what you're telling me.
In your opinion.
My lying eyes are lying to me.
In your opinion.
And Claire too.
In your opinion, you probably got a fucking surround sound. I don't know, but you probably got a surround sound. I don't know, but let me tell you this: you're the only one to call in talking about the punches landed harder or louder. What the fuck does that have to do with the punches actually landing?
What do you have to do with these dudes being the more busier fighter and just say he's missing? Don't matter he's missing. You know why? Because Pascal doesn't land him by much more.
Oh, so it don't matter. So now it don't matter that you miss. How do you win a fight? How do you win a fight if you missing? How it don't matter if you missing? Could you hit a home run if you struck out? Could you, do you get an and one if you miss the free throw? The fuck you mean it doesn't matter? You don't matter.
And one.
What was the percentage?
So who you thought won?
Hold on. The percentage of what, Georgie? I don't even know. You the only one talking about percentages of volumes.
How many punches did he throw in the fight?
Yo, Pascal landed 154 and your boy missed 200 and only landed 163, man. That's it.
And Pascal landed 154?
154, 9-punch difference. But your guy missed. But your guy.
That's what I'm saying. The only guy throwing money is the busier fighter. How the fuck you don't see that?
Yeah, the busier missing fighter.
So you saying that Gonzalez landed 363?
He only landed what? Yo, you hearing what you're saying? You hearing what you're saying? If you throw more punches and you connect more punches, you won the fight. You're right. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
The other guy throw more, he's the busier fighter. Even if the other guy landed by a punch or 2 or 3. Why? Because they throw about the same amount of fucking punches, and the other one landed about the same. But the other
You
one
really need to invest in a new phone, bro.
You need a new brain.
Listen.
the best. Got
Listen. I may need a new brain, but I'm not the one calling in talking about that Gonzalez's punches sounded louder. You're a weirdo right now. You're officially a weirdo. Yeah, they landed louder. They landed louder. You made it clear.
He landed the bomb. What the fuck Pascal was throwing? Man, there will be no fight that wouldn't go forward. Fucking Pascal was touching the rope all night. His back was touching the fucking rope, and now he was fucking holding. And you say he got that green general shit? The fuck you talking about? Right, so go ahead. I'm done.
That was good. That was good, Georgie.
Postway from the Lower Oregon, what's going on? Okay, 503, who's this? 503. 123. 267, you're up.
It's Philly, right? It's Philly.
Philly in the house. What's going on? It's the Analyzer.
Analyzer, what up?
What up? What up?
Analyzer.
Why I gotta go on after him, man? And that shit was hilarious. Yeah, but I had it the fight that everybody's talking about. You know the fight everybody's talking about. I did have it Gonzalez. I had it 6 rounds before. I'm actually watching it now, but that 6th round, I had it for Gonzalez, but I'm kind of detracting there. I think Pascal did win that 6th round. That 6th round was awesome. Gonzalez kept coming forward, but I mean Pascal was backpedaling, but people these callers calling up saying that if you backpedal, that means you're losing the fight. That doesn't mean you're losing the fight just because you're backpedaling. You can backpedal and still counter punch. Yeah. He was counter punching. He was backpedaling, but he was still counter punching. So Pascal did he fought a hell of a fight. Gonzalez.
There should be a rematch.
That's a good idea.
I think it should be a rematch. Because
teach that boy how to turn over his punches before he go into the rematch. So he got to land something.
We stop this.
And then Pascal has to learn as well for something. Look better than what he done last night because he did not look like a A-class fighter.
Yeah, because Gonzalez punches, man, I could hear them shits a mile away.
Yo,
he landed them loud right hands.
Yeah, he got some big ass speakers over there. But
yeah, he remind me of that Maxwell commercial. Remember that Maxwell commercial? He in the chair listening to music, everything being blown away. That was him every time a punch landed.
That's because
that was Pascal.
Yeah, well, that was Gonzalez is a thump. Like his punches thump a little bit, but that's probably why it sounded a little louder. But that doesn't mean you winning a fight just because they sound louder. That was crazy. And these callers,
I don't even know what he talking about, bro, because I ain't hear no punches landed harder. This dude was looking like an MMA fighter all night, man. He bugging right now. Don't believe him.
That's because Letterman make these motherfuckers think a certain way. These callers gotta stop calling up listening to Letterman.
Look, if you're gonna watch a fight, don't pay attention to what the judge that's being paid by the network scoring. Score your own fight. Don't pay attention to what they have to say.
Hey, Gonzalez was punching Pascal with maracas.
That's Mexican though. He
I know, but it was making a loud. But that's a loud noise, man. Punching maracas.
I don't watch the fight. Listening to the Jim Lampley, the ringside analysis. I mean, I do listen to him because they narrate the fight.
I think you do, casual fan.
I do listen to it. It's a quality to it, listening to it. But I don't judge. Sometimes I do say, "Whoa, what is he talking about?"
The problem is, Enrique, you're influenced by what they say.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You've proven that several times today.
Yes. Look at Robbie taking shots.
That's the key about boxing. You cannot be influenced by what they're talking about on TV. You have to use your own.
But what if your thoughts?
Yeah, you have to use your own eyes and
Right.
and
you know,
have to know
Robbie.
about
Hey,
what you're watching.
Enrique, you really gonna do this every call? Like, go back to the fact that you thought Gonzalez won? Stop, dude. You out of control tonight.
I'm just saying that, like, my thoughts said one thing, and then I would hear the narrative of HBO.
You know what's funny? You know what's
be
funny
on the
too?
same note.
Max Kellerman admits to it too. He goes, "Oh well, I'm gonna have to go home and watch it." 'Cause
Rewatch
I was
the fight.
influenced.
Right.
I was influenced by groupthink.
That's right.
You never hear Al Bernstein say that. He watches the fight and he scores it the way he scores. The same thing with freaking Steve Farhood.
But hold on, but Beebs, what are you saying though? Who did you score it against? And you weren't listening to the telecast, right? You weren't
scored
influenced
for
by.
Gonzalez. Enrique, listen, Enrique.
Yeah, but see,
scored
now
for
y'all like the
Gonzalez.
telecast.
You scored for Gonzalez.
My scorecard was different than Harold Letterman's, and I had it 6-4 instead of 7-3.
All right, we're moving on. Scorsese, give me that last point you wanted to make. You guys are out of control with this shit. It wasn't even that entertaining to be talking about this fight that much.
It was a fight of the year, in my opinion.
You got to be kidding me. A fucking tune-up gone bad fight of the year. Nobody even heard of fucking Gonzalez. Pascal fucked that up and made him famous.
None of the unknown fighters were known.
Scorsese, make your point.
All right, I just wanted to say real quick, I could debate it if you need me to, but if Better Be ready for Kovalev, then the people who said Spence ain't ready for Thurman is crazy.
Well, Ness ain't gonna like that one because he's not too hot. He doesn't think that Spence is ready. You know, you have a good point though, because both guys have a lot to prove when you talk about Better Be and Spence. So it's a good point, man. I mean, it's definitely a good point.
What? Better Be and Spence? Why are them two names even in the same conversation?
He's saying that if Spence ain't ready for Thurman, then why is Better Be ready for Kovalev?
I never said he was. I'm the same guy saying that if this dude would have beat Pascal like everyone thought he did, they need to pump the brakes on him before giving him to Kovalev. I'm the same guy saying that Triple G don't need to move up the ward. I'm the guy that wants to see my fighters develop. I want the best out of them.
It wasn't direct. It wasn't directed at Ness. It was directed at everybody who has said that but wants the other fight. I just don't understand.
Okay,
I mean, I'm the one that said Triple G shouldn't be fighting Golovkin yet. I mean, I'm the one that said Lemieux shouldn't be fighting Golovkin yet. They need to build it up. I need one fight on HBO with Lemieux versus somebody. Give me somebody. Shit.
I misquoted you. I apologize.
Making me pay for this bullshit. Get the fuck out of it. Paying for a C-level fighter too.
I'm just
used. It's not that fight. I'm talking about just the resumes, the age, the 9 fights that Better Beef has. People playing the rankings saying he got former world champions. They use the word former world champions.
It's true though.
When that world champion doesn't, he's not. If you really look at it, LaGreco's probably taking his career more serious than Cloud. Cloud is like being Jeff.
Get out of here. Hell no. Listen. No. See, the problem with you guys is that you think these dudes is really gladiators that you watch on TV. Like, Cloud took beatings, but Cloud been in the ring with good names consecutively. So when Better Beef got him, maybe he was on the downside. He already took a couple of shots.
And it was a quick. He took the fight on quick notice. You look at Spence's resume.
You know why? But he took the fight on quick notice. No. Scorsese, stop your bullshit. He took the fight on short notice because he had just got out of a fight.
Look, I'm just saying the way I look at it. I'm trying to make the best of the best fights. I think Thurman Spence is beautiful. I think Better Be Kovalev beautiful as well. That's my point. I'm going.
No, go because you disrespectful trying to make Thurman fight a dude that ain't even fight nobody yet. Y'all bugging, man. It's crazy. It's a damn shame. Look, and I'm not one to marinate at all. I don't believe in marination, but damn, the dude ain't got a top 10. He ain't fought a top 10 dude yet. But you want him to fight possibly a top 7 guy? Man, you guys are crazy. For real. Anyway, let's see. This was Sam, supposedly, or somebody on Twitter made a new Twitter saying he was Sam.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was using my brother's because I'm using You hear me right?
We hear you and your GPS in the back. I don't know why you on speakerphone. I mean, you guys know speakers and Bluetooths are banned on the show, right? We don't allow them.
Yeah, I got you. I just came off because I was driving. But yeah, I know you're on drive-by, so I'm just gonna make my points real quick. Okay. First of all,
first of all, Wassam, I don't even want you to talk about the fights last week because you are the Triple G president of the fan club, and you need to defend this shit. It's not right. It's not right.
Defend what? The pay-per-view?
Yes.
He brokered the deal. He was the one that negotiated it.
Well, you see, that's the thing. If you follow the whole negotiations process, when they initially went to try to get David Lemieux for Triple G, what happened? Oscar De La Hoya, he sent out a tweet and a bunch of articles on Boxing Scene saying that that David Lemieux had to fight a mandatory first, even though that mandatory still wasn't even settled. It was between Toriano Johnson and I think this guy named O'Kane or something like that. So Tom Loeffler, he contacted the IBF, and they said, no, there's no mandatory, there's no problem with that. I don't know why Oscar De La Hoya would say that. So basically, they were just trying to save David Lemieux from Triple G. So then Bernard Hopkins, he has an interview with Seconds Out where he says that, implied basically, but he pretty much said it, that David Lemieux turned down a $2 million payday with Triple G. Right? So in order to get Triple G a solid opponent, everybody's saying, oh, we're tired of him facing this guy or that guy. And the last caller said something horrendous, a retarded statement, calling David Lemieux a C-level fighter. I mean, that's just ludicrous. That's the talk of a hater. That's not even the talk of an analytical black.
Well, I mean, his biggest win is in Dom, who's a loser to Peter Quillen.
You know what a C-level fighter is?
No, tell me how is he? No, I don't want to know what a C-level fighter. I want you to tell me how he's a B-level fighter. Who did he beat? This B-level.
Now, can you what level is Peter Quillen?
Peter Quillen, I would say he's BA.
Now, who's he beating?
He beat Ndam when he was undefeated. He ain't beat leftovers.
It doesn't matter if he was undefeated. That's just.
Oh, it does matter. Oh, it does matter. Oh, it does matter. Oh, it does matter.
It's the same exact fighter with the same exact DNA.
No, it's not the same exact fighter. No, it's not the same. Listen, we were just questioning whether Pascal had it all in him. So how could it be the same exact fighter? It's not. Every fight takes something.
That's a different case. That's a different case.
No, Ness. Every fighter takes something. Every fight takes something.
Listen, Ness. Pascal has been through numerous wars. He had a close fight, a war with Carl Froch. He had a war with Chad Dawson. He had 2 wars with Bernard Hopkins. He got knocked out bad in 6 rounds versus Kovalev. You cannot compare that to a 12-round fight that Peter Quillen had with David Lemieux. A 12-round.
Why can't it? Why can't I? When Peter Quillen knocked him down 6 times, he did better than Lemieux, and I ain't even watched the Lemieux fight.
No, first of all, if you didn't watch it, then you basically have no room.
Well, I know. It's the same. Listen, it's the same argument people use with Khan Collazo. Khan knocked Collazo down 3 times, so he did better. So Peter Quillen knocked him down 6 times, he did better.
Yeah, now this is where you put yourself in a corner, because I'm actually one of the few Khan fans who think Thurman did a better job on Collazo than Khan. I actually do think that. Even though he knocked him down 3 times, they were illegitimate knockdowns. He was holding and hitting. He actually got a hit more than Thurman did. His face was bruised up after the fight. I actually think Thurman, through first 5 rounds, you have to split hairs to find the clean shot that Collazo even landed on him. So that's one thing. Don't generalize on what people say with what I'm saying.
Then Wassam, I just want you to make Lemieux into a B fighter. Just how? Show me. Tell me.
I'm telling you. First of all, he's a world champion. Okay, he put himself through the ranks. He knocked out Guerrero in 2 rounds. Stopped.
Fernando Guerrero. Fernando Guerrero.
Now listen. Yes, Fernando Guerrero.
Come on. Are you serious right now? Are you serious?
Listen. I'm building.
You can't build with Guerrero. You can't build with Guerrero. Guerrero didn't beat nobody.
Wait. This is the same Guerrero who you were trying to tell me was a somebody when you were actually trying to rank David Lemieux over Rubio. Now all of a sudden he's nobody?
Well,
You
has he beat someone? Has he beat someone? The only that Ishe, I told you that Ishe Smith fight. I told you that the Ishe Smith fight was almost a robbery. Everybody thought Ishe won. What are you talking about?
No, you didn't. You actually gave him credit for that fight. You said regardless if he won or not.
Yes, I gave him credit because it was a tough. It was a tough fight, and it was like a 15-0.
Ness, when you were trying to justify your ranking of David Lemieux over Rubio, you used Guerrero as a good win. Now, when I'm trying to use him, you're telling me it's not a good win anymore.
I'm not saying it's not good, Wassam. I'm not saying it's not good. What I'm saying is he didn't beat anybody.
Rosado, who himself beat, who I believe he beat, Jelion Love. He gave Peter Quillen a tough battle, and he beat him way better.
Wassam, you know what you're failing to do here? You're failing to show anyone. You haven't mentioned one fighter that's on a B level because Rosado's not B. Rosado's not B.
What do you mean a B level?
B level fighter. A B level fighter.
Listen.
A Thurman, a Khan, a Kelbrook, a Porter, a B level, a Broner at 135, B level. Someone that's beating guys that they're not supposed to beat.
Hassan and Dom is Peter Quillen's best win. He's his best win.
No, it's not. Andy Lee is. Andy Lee. The draw with Andy Lee. The draw with Andy Lee is better because that's a bigger name and a better fighter, a fighter who was tested more.
A draw is better than a win. That's fine. A draw is better than a win if you want to say.
I mean, it was a bigger fight. You know, it was a bigger fight.
Let me finish, Ellie. But you can't give somebody credit for a draw, Nets. That's not a win. That's not a win. How are you going to give somebody credit for a draw? Are we going to give Pascal credit for his draw against Bernard Hopkins? I mean, that fight could have.
Well, we gave Hopkins credit for it, didn't we?
Oh my God.
Oh, we didn't. Oh, we didn't. We didn't. That's not the reason Hopkins got a rematch because we gave him credit for the draw. Because we thought he got robbed.
That's subjective.
Oh, it's subjective now.
In terms of how the politics work, they'll get a rematch. Usually, always happens when a draw happens. But they didn't give him credit for a win, though. They didn't give him credit for try. They gave.
Okay, Wassam. You know what? You're right. You're right. I'm doing this wrong. You stop that, Fernando Guerrero. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then he takes Hassan and Dam, who was ranked in the top five middleweight, who again, you can disagree if you want, is Peter Quillen's best win. And if you watch that fight, look at the scoring. Look at the scoring for the Hassan and Dam Peter Quillen fight. Hassan and Dam won every single round that he wasn't knocked down in on almost everybody's scorecard. He was backing him up. He was hitting him at will. With David Lemieux actually won 6 rounds and rounds outside of where he scored the knockdowns in. So I think he did a way better job than Peter Quillen. Thirdly, he's the IBF champion. He's the IBF champion. This is a unification fight of the best middleweight in the world, Triple G, and one of the most exciting fighters in the world. To say what has he done to deserve to be pay-per-view, this entire statement is nonsensical.
You know what, Wassam? You have officially crossed over. Like all this time, I used to know that you loved Triple G, and I didn't care because I listened to your calls and your breakdowns of fights, and you were intelligent. But you've proved today that you're biased because you're trying to make a unification be okay on a pay-per-view. You know how many unifications we got without pay-per-views? Didn't we just get Bernard Hopkins put 2 belts on the line versus Kovalev's 1 belt for free, man? Stop. And you still have not mentioned the B fighter because no matter what you say, let me finish. Because no matter what you say, and Dom is not a B fighter. He can't be a B fighter if he keeps losing. Who the fuck did he beat? Who did he beat?
He beat Curtis Stevens.
Okay. And what's Curtis Stevens' biggest win? Edwin Alaya? Come on, man. Stop. You're fucking reaching at straws. Listen, you can't even mention Curtis Stevens. You can't mention Curtis Stevens. You know why? Because we didn't even give... Yo, there's people out there that didn't even give Triple G credit for beating Curtis Stevens. Come on, you bugging.
That's fine. That's fine. But look, you asked me to justify why it's on pay-per-view.
And you're doing a poor job. Poor job.
No, look. First I gave you the politics. First I gave you the politics of why it's on pay-per-view. Because they couldn't pay David Lemieux enough to take the fight. That's basically what happened. He turned down $2 million flat rate. They're using this pay-per-view.
Listen, I don't care if they're ducking Golovkin. I don't have to pay because a fighter doesn't want to fucking fight him. You are not right, man. You are not right. You're justifying bullshit. You're justifying bullshit.
Wassam, do you think that HBO? Wassam, do you think HBO is? Do you think HBO is doing this to try to gauge to see how Triple G does on pay-per-view?
That could be another reason. That could be another reason. And it's actually
yeah. So Wassam feels that we should pay for HBO's gauging.
I'm not saying you should pay for anything. You're just the same thing you accused the other caller of putting words in your mouth. You're doing the same thing with me. I'm saying you're free to buy it or not. Those are my justifications. You can agree, you can disagree. I think a unification fight between the most avoided guy in boxing and one of the most exciting fighters in boxing is much more than a lot of pay-per-views you buy and they end up being duds. This fight is not a dud. It's going to be an exciting fight. You can choose to buy it if you want. I'm not saying.
Hey, let me ask you something. Is David Lemieux at the status of Sergio Martinez when he did a pay-per-view with Julio Cesar Chavez? Because he was the B side, Chavez was the A side.
Of course not.
Okay. Was David Lemieux? Is he on the status of Miguel Cotto Pacquiao?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Who was he on the status of? Could you find any pay-per-view that Lemieux is the status of the B side of that other pay-per-view? Could you find one?
Canelo Angulo.
Canelo Angulo.
Can we stop the argument?
I guess.
This kid is coming good.
That was a good one.
Coming strong right now.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Even though, hold on, Wassam, hold on. No, Wassam, don't get too happy because you know that Alfredo Angulo is commercially more recognized than David Lemieux. Alfredo Angulo has been fighting on HBO since like 2006, maybe.
All right then, that's fine. But don't tell me it's because of rankings or did he deserve it. You're telling me commercial value. That's an entirely different criteria.
Well, no, not when you're talking about pay-per-view. All that matters. That's the whole point of a pay-per-view. Having commercial marketability, being able to sell the fight. They're selling us a fight they can't sell. Lemieux's not a B side and Golovkin's not an A side.
How much are we going to be forced to pay?
Not an A side.
Yo, hey, Wassam, don't get hung up on. Don't get hung up on. He's not no fucking A side. You know that.
And by what standards, Ness? By what standards?
By any of the past. Let me tell you something. No. I'm gonna allow you to say how by you telling me. The criteria is every other A side known in history. Who do you want to start with?
Okay, what is that criteria?
I don't know. Who do you want to start with? Who did Morales did pay-per-views? Morales did pay-per-views. Pacquiao did pay-per-views. This guy, Juan Manuel Marquez did pay-per-views. Canelo did pay-per-views. Cotto did pay-per-views. I mean, I'm naming A sides.
Yeah.
I'm naming A sides.
Yeah.
Roy Jones did pay-per-views.
Roy Jones. Vladimir? No, not Vladimir, but maybe, right? But is Triple G any of those fucking guys?
No, he's not.
All right then, so stop your lying, man.
But look. Well, now, how am I lying? Okay, can I rebuttal like you used to say? Can I rebuttal?
But Tom, you said he does well in California. Yeah. Well, if he does well in California, why are they putting this in Madison Square Garden then?
Because it's Quebec where
Oh, so
that's exactly why.
So wait a minute. So you're saying David Lemieux got to pick the fight? I mean the side.
No, he doesn't.
When Golovkin
when
Golovkin is the supposed A side, if he's the A side.
Robbie, this is my advice to all of you. Before you think of like a quick reactionary response, actually think about what I'm saying. They chose this venue to be balanced for both sides. Triple G has actually sold out the lower bowl of MSG before, over 8,000 people. Okay, he was the only fighter to headline in the main room of MSG other than Miguel Cotto in the last 8 years.
Yo, my nigga, 8,000 ain't shit. Danny Garcia wipes his ass with 8,000.
Okay, Danny Garcia.
He doesn't? He doesn't?
For Lamont Peterson.
Well, Danny Garcia, listen, let me tell you something. Danny Garcia holds the record in the Barclays. Not even Cotto made that many ticket sales.
Look, all that aside.
You're stuttering a lot.
If you put Triple G back, all that aside, if you put Triple G back in Madison Square Garden now, after all the promotion that they've done and selling out twice on the West Coast. You put him on MSG again, I bet you he'll sell. He might even sell out the big room.
Wassam,
Putting it there for it to be you guys laughed at me when I told you he would sell out the StubHub, and what happened?
I don't know about me laughing at you.
Wassam, let's cut to the chase. How many pay-per-views does this fight do? How many does it sell?
50,000.
Let's cut to the chase.
I say 200.
I'm saying 100.
50.
I'm saying 100,000.
They charge.
Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr. did 50,000.
No, it did 110.
What?
Listen, Wassam, we're out of here, brother. 614, you're up.
Yeah, I see it in your eye.
Ooh, what she see in his eyes, huh? 813, you're up.
Yo, what's up? This is Randall from Tampa.
Randall, you paying for that Triple G?
90 seconds.
Hey, I want to help in Hassan with his argument. First, let me say that the GGG fight and Lemieux is not a pay-per-view fight. The reason the fight is on pay-per-view is because HBO don't got enough budget to cover that fight. So whatever they can make in this fight is going to help them cover whatever the guarantee they're going to owe those fighters. So it may help the box.
60 seconds.
HBO have enough money to put on another show on their regular network. So if this fight does 100,000 buys at like what, let's say $50 a pop, that's like $5 million. Half of that goes to the cable company. So that's what 2.5 to pay out to the fighters. So that's going to help them out. I don't think they're not expecting that fight to do 500,000, 300,000, 200,000 pay-per-view buys. If it do, great for them. I won't buy it because that's just a regular fight, you know. And they set a bad precedent by letting Triple G fight the caliber opponent on HBO that's been so bad, but he done fought 7 of them on
10 seconds.
Yo, you know what's even worse? That people are complaining about Mayweather-Berto. So if Mayweather-Berto is bad, what is this?
It's not a bad fight, but it's not a pay-per-view fight. You know, and the same thing, like, I saw some articles about Mayweather. If Mayweather and them put that Berto fight on pay-per-view, I'm not paying for it. I'm not telling my friends to pay for it. Yeah, I go to the Wing House and watch it, but I'm not gonna be involved in no fight part unless somebody just say, hey, I'm about to fight. But you know, this is not an HBO. I mean, this is not a pay-per-view caliber fight. But I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it. It shows me the bigger picture is that, you know, I talked about last week HBO not having a date, but they don't have the budget. Like everybody talked about, oh, we had these True TV cards. When was the last True TV card?
That was in June.
It was in June,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So all these dates, see, I think other promoters are getting mad because you got Kovalev and Triple G fighting the level opponent.
Oh my God, Randall! Let me say something before I forget. Something you said just sparked that. Look, did you guys notice that on PBC there was new advertisers? Applebee's was there, so they coming on, baby. PBC may live on. Go ahead, Randall.
Hey, listen, the PBC thing it's long term. It's really not short term because I'm trying to tell you guys, it's really not PBC versus the other promoters. It's them versus HBO. Soon as the other promoters realize that, hey, we could take our business to PBC and not sue them, they're just another front for an actual entity that's going to put boxing on TV. Forget what other networks they're affiliated with. They're really competing with HBO. And you know what I'm saying? And the promoters got to get this through their mind, like, hey, we can get guaranteed money by going to PBC. And they want to sit up here and fight it because they thinking that they're being controlled or their company at risk. I guarantee you that if you present good fights, Al Heyman will put those guys on. But they just trying to fight this new model, and it's not really nothing to fight. Just get on the ship. You can still promote shows, but it's going to be under a PBC brand. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of pressure on that whole side. HBO, they can't justify, like, Kovalev fought a 45-1.
100 to 1. Don't get that twisted. Don't get that twisted. 100 to 1.
Listen, and I didn't watch the fights last night, and it wasn't because I was gonna boycott the fight. It was just, I said in the past I don't got cable, but PBC made it so easy for me to watch it. I just went to NBC Sports Net and clicked watch live, and I could watch it in HD. You know what I'm saying? And I just chose to watch those fights instead of finding me a stream. But I'm saying, like, a 45, I understand he was a mandatory, but do you remember when Bernard Hopkins fought that Euro-Brawl mandatory, like, back in the day, and he had all the belts in middleweight, and it was like, oh, Bernard, why would you fight this guy? I mean, Larry Merchant laid in his ass, but he like, Larry, this is my mandatory. I guarantee you that they didn't do that with that guy that Kovalev fought. Man, this dude lost to Cleverly, man. That guy who fought last night lost to Cleverly. Anybody who loses to Cleverly don't got no shot of winning no light heavyweight title. No shot. And I just want to make one last point about BJ Flores. Hey, casual fan, if you ever want to know what ring generalship is, that Schumanov taught a lesson in ring generalship last night. This shit was so funny. He asked BJ Flores asked his dad, how do I cut off the ring? Like, literally, how do I cut off
Randall.
the ring? And then he did that. Yes.
I'm still wondering, why didn't you watch the HBO fights?
Because I don't have cable. I didn't want to fight for a stream and have to fight through all the streams, so I just went to NBC Sports Net. They say watch the fight live, click the button, HD stream. So
damn,
I didn't have to fight around and look for a stream. So
see what I'm saying?
Easy for me to watch.
Accessibility, Randall, man. Thank you for calling. I'm gonna get to some other people. Accessibility, B. That's very important. Someone on Twitter was just asking me for a link to those Isaiah Thomas fights. There you go, NBC Sports Net. That's hot for me. Like right now, I want to watch, and damn, nothing for something sent it to me on Twitter, but it's a YouTube link. You know that shit ain't gonna be a real HD. You ain't gonna be able to stream it on your TV. Garbage. 517, you're up. Who's this? 517, going once. Bye. 818.
What's up, man?
What up, AB?
Damn, I've been waiting for like 2 hours. I called in like 3 hours ago.
AB's lying. I just sent him a screenshot of him waiting and the time. No, I got the screenshot. Look, timer says 59 minutes.
It's a conspiracy against AB. I don't like it.
What?
Okay. Yeah, I called in at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, so why it only said 59 minutes? You got the screenshot, right? That's not your number?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You don't know.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it means you waited on hold for an hour without pressing 1 is what it means.
AB, you got to get with the program.
Timer starts.
You got to get the program,
Listen,
AB.
I don't understand. These guys been calling for 3 years. Look, you got to get in here early. You got to press 1. You can't press it again till we pick it up. We not accepting you on speaker or Bluetooth. It's simple. Go.
All right. Pascal Gonzalez fight, that wasn't a robbery at all. I mean, I think the best way for everybody to just get along on this is just say, look, 6-4. It could have gone either way. There were a lot of clean rounds. Round 2 and 3. Okay, here's the one thing that nobody mentioned. Pascal was the only one that was landing body shots against Gonzalez. And he was landing body shots in every single round. And Gonzalez, I don't even think he landed one single body shot. And
no, that's not true. Gonzalez landed body shots himself, and his trainer kept telling him to go to the body. He kept telling him, go to the tanque, which means body. So stop lying. You guys just a lot of selective listening and visualization with you guys.
The sport is subjective, Ness. Come on.
There were a lot of body shots that Pascal was landing that, the commentators weren't counting. And when Pascal dipped down, Gonzalez pretty much was missing a lot of punches he was throwing. And CompuBox even shows that Pascal landed 154 to Gonzalez's 163. And not only that, but Pascal landed almost double digits in terms of percentage. So how the hell is that a robbery? And that guy should be ashamed of himself crying, because that was no robbery when, and I know somebody's going to call in and say, oh, but CompuBox is just two idiots playing a video game. Well, you know what? CompuBox is more credible
He was crying, AB, because his managers put up all the money that they had.
Oh, you listen to the sad story HBO told you. You want to repeat it? Get out of here, Robbie, with that bullshit.
He was crying because he thought he won the fight, but you know, so yeah, this wasn't a robbery at all. And then going into the Golovkin review, you know, it's just so funny. Like, I call in every single time, and
no, what's really funny, AB, is that you always call in after the other guy, Wassam, which I believe you guys are the same person, because I bet you're also gonna justify this pay-per-view, right? Because listen to what you guys are saying. So why wasn't Sean Porter versus Adrian Broner a pay-per-view? Because that's more of a pay-per-view than fucking Lemieux Triple G. Let me ask you something. Before you go, hold on, AB. Let me just ask you one question, because I know you didn't listen to that. Is Sean Porter, Adrian Broner pay-per-view worthy too then?
Absolutely not, because they're not high ticket sellers.
Okay. No, because Adrian Broner doesn't sell out in Cincinnati. He hasn't done it twice already. Whatever, man. You guys are just weirdos.
But so let me give you an example of a guy that was knocked out twice and fought on pay-per-view. Okay, Arturo Gatti, when he fought Floyd Mayweather, Arturo Gatti was knocked out by Angel Manfredi. Arturo Gatti was knocked out by Devil.
Please try not to bring up. Please try not to bring up the network in question. Please try not to bring up the network that sells you fake pay-per-views, okay? Because you're not helping yourself. Arturo Gatti was on HBO. HBO desperately wanted to make Mayweather into what he is. I'm just saying. It's the same formula. They want to make Triple G into what he is.
But I'm not. This is a much more competitive fight than with Arturo Gatti.
I can barely hear him. Can you tell him to speak up?
This was a much more competitive fight than with Arturo Gatti. Max Kellerman called it the biggest mismatch in pay-per-view history before the fight went on, okay? And this is a...
Yeah, the same guy that left a back door last night saying, well, you know, from here on ringside, it looked like Pascal lost, but I got to go watch it. No, you know what you seen.
I gave you an example of a complete mismatch.
Okay. But you also... But the criminal is still the same person. The criminal is still the same person. It's HBO that's robbing us. It's not no one else.
They're not robbing us.
Oh, they're not.
You know who was robbing us? Showtime was robbing us. All the bullshit fights that Mayweather put on against Victor Ortiz and Maidana and
Victor Ortiz was
on HBO.
You're about to get hung up on, man. You're a rookie right now. Get out of here. HBO. He's still talking HBO fights, this guy.
I like that Victor Ortiz fight.
Well, look. It doesn't matter if it's HBO or Showtime. I don't really care. I'm saying that you know, he deserves to be on pay-per-view because of the way that he sells the tickets. But you know, you mentioned the fighters being knocked out. I mean, Amir Khan got knocked out by Prescott in the first round.
Amir Khan has never been in a pay-per-view. Yo, AB, you're failing. Amir Khan's never been in a pay-per-view.
Right, but people are.
But he's never been. I don't care. I don't care what people are asking for. He's not been in one, so he's not in this conversation. I mean, this guy's like, you're trying too hard.
As long as that's not how pay-per-view works. You know, you don't have to be on pay-per-view. You know, you can't say, oh, he's never been on pay-per-view, so he doesn't deserve to be on pay-per-view. That doesn't. No. AB, stop trying to be slick. Stop trying to be slick. What you were doing, you said you were answering my question about guys who's been knocked out and been on HBO. I mean, on pay-per-view. So then you tried to weasel in Amir Khan as being knocked out and being on pay-per-view, but he's not been on pay-per-view. So he's not in this conversation. He's not in this conversation. You can't give me an example of a guy being knocked out that hasn't been on pay-per-view. That wasn't the question. What's wrong with you?
Actually, Ness, Amir Khan was on a Mayweather undercard.
Listen to this guy. Robbie, you really need to stop it, okay? Go run into the wall or something. What the hell? Yo, being on the undercard. Hold on, AB. Let's just fix Robbie really quick. Being on the undercard and being a fucking pay-per-view guy on the card is two different things, okay, buddy?
I know that, but I want to.
No, you don't. No, you don't, because you brought it up, not me.
Wow, you're killing everyone tonight, Ness. You're being
I just don't get it.
So mean. Why are you being mean to Robbie? Come on.
I want AB to show me.
saying Mayweather did 325,000 buys his first pay-per-view. Okay.
Versus who? Versus who? Versus who? Oh, Turagati.
Okay, so this fight's gonna do 100,000 pay-per-view buys. So what's it? So I mean,
I think it's gonna do. I think it's gonna do between 300 and 500.
I'll bet you 1,000 it doesn't. It's only gonna do 100,000. I don't think this does more than 150,000. This will not do more than 150,000.
Listen. Let me tell you something. AB, what I don't want.
Nobody knows who David Lemieux is in America. He's not even known.
Nobody.
He's not even known.
Nobody. His last fight was on Fox Sports 1.
Come on. No disrespect, but the guy's not even known.
Yeah,
he doesn't even fight on HBO. He doesn't even fight on Showtime, barely.
Actually, it was Fox Sports 2.
Yo, somebody in the chat just said, if you're on the undercard of a pay-per-view, it's not different. How is it not? How
different?
How being on the undercard and being the main event, the reason people are buying,
Ray Narth was on the undercard in pay-per-view. He was knocked out in one round. What does that mean?
Yo.
All I'm saying is if it does at least 250, okay, what are you gonna say?
I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. Listen, you're looking for justifications to make it okay, and saying that it's going to sell a certain amount of numbers doesn't make it okay. All you're saying the 200,000 suckers were duped by you, Triple G, K2, and HBO.
There's no way this fight does more than 150,000 pay-per-view buys.
I'm going to say this because I don't want this to get lost in this conversation. I hope he sells.
I'm not saying this is a great pay-per-view, but I'm saying it's more pay-per-view than Canelo Angulo, than Sergio Martinez, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and then Mayweather and a lot of his mismatches.
All right, AB, we're going to move on. Listen, all I'm going to say is this. I hope that Triple G Lemieux sells 500,000. So then there is a reason for Cotto and Canelo to fight him without any excuses.
Exactly.
I don't want that to get lost. I'm not hating on Triple G. I like Triple G a lot. I'm going to repeat it. I don't want that to get lost. I like Triple G a lot. I want him to sell 500,000.
This is the wrong opponent to do this.
I just do not feel that it's right that we should be paying money for this fight.
This guy's not even known in the United States, David Lemieux. He's not even part. He has no fan base outside of Canada. Why is this guy going to be the guy that put it on to be a pay-per-view opponent?
Because I'm going to tell you why.
This is how bad HBO's schedule is. They don't have a fight from last night up until Fury Klitschko on October 24th.
Yeah.
I mean, on regular HBO.
And they're not even giving us no fights for all that time, and they can't save those pennies to pay Lemieux. We got to pay for Lemieux. We got to pay for Lemieux. We the fans, got to pay for Lemieux.
Hey, is there a number of hardcore fans that tune in to HBO Showtime or PBC, whatever it is? Is there a number the way that there is a number?
Yeah. However many weirdos pay for
spit it out.
Juan Manuel Marquez versus Bradley and Canelo versus Alfredo Angulo and Canelo versus
what was that number? And what was that number?
Between 300, there's about 500,000 of us, but there's on average the true hardcores is about 375,000 to 325,000.
That's what Triple G's gonna do.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's gonna do 250.
150.
Listen, Marquez with that kid from Texas didn't even do 225 or over 225, I think.
All right, so Juan Diaz. 170.
Yeah. But listen, again, I want him to do $1 million. I want him to do $1 million. So then no one's scared to fight him. They know they're going to get paid, whatever. But it's not fair. All right, I know that he's not, but I'm just saying it's not fair for us to pay. Let me get to some callers, guys. 901, go.
What's up, Kenvo?
Kenvo, what up? What's going on, man? Been a while, plug.
Man, shit. Man, I be listening. Hey, I just wanted to call in to tell you that I love when Beeb go on his rapping promo rants. I love that shit. That should be fun as hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, who that? Okay, and I signed up for that Throwdown Fantasy Boxing. I like this shit. I wait for Beeb to make.
I hope you used our link so we could get some credit.
I did.
All right.
And then Abel Sanchez be talking a lot of shit, man. He be talking about some Triple G was straight killing Kovalev in the spawn and shit. I don't even believe that shit, man. I mean, I don't get it. He want to big up Triple G like he gonna knock Kovalev out and shit. I don't even believe in it, but that's what I think it's an article I read on y'all site that's saying that he was kind of scared of Triple G. I'm like, Kovalev ain't scared of TripleG, man. He'll kill it.
I like that beef right there. I like the Kovalev Beibut Sanchez beef. Go ahead.
Well, they were hyping it up.
Yeah, they hyped it up,
Yeah,
but I like it.
Up. But you know, there's no way in hell that Triple G is killing Kovalev, dog. He come up off this shit. I guess he big up his fighter, but
They're friends,
I wish you would put him in there and you would see what really happened to him.
That ain't gonna happen because Triple G ain't gonna go to 175. I don't think he's big enough.
Yeah, but I know it. But Beibut Sanchez talking big boy shit like he was gonna do it. So it put your money where your mouth is. I mean, he talking shit. Some of Triple G is scaring Kovalev. Some bullshit.
What's up with all these trainers talking for their fighters like Freddie Roach, Beibut Sanchez? I'm getting tired of this, man.
Well, they got to, because some of these fighters don't got personalities.
True.
Got no heart. That's what it is. Okay, man.
Kinfolk, I'm moving. You good?
Support, man. Holly support. And I was trying, like I said, I was trying to wait for B to make his picks. And then my competitive spirit kicked in. I said, wait a minute. I want to beat B and picking folks. So I picked my shit my own self. That damn. I want to try to make that money, but at the same time, I want to beat B at the same time. So,
all right, man.
Support.
Hey, Kinfolk, someone in the chat said, holla at him. Stripe. Whoever that is. 805, you're up. 805, going once.
What's going on, y'all?
What up? Who this?
Isaac Jones.
Mike Jones?
Isaac Jones.
Mike Jones.
Hey, man, how y'all feeling today?
I'm all right.
Good. Listen, I want to say this. I'd like to start off by saying I'm a boxing fan. I'm just like you, Ness. I usually score for the counter punches. I'm the type of I scored Lara over Canelo. I scored Herrera over Danny Garcia. I scored Lamont Peterson over Danny Garcia. But listen, Gonzalez got robbed, man. You're not calling it a robbery. He got robbed. And I felt terrible, man. The man was crying in the ring. I felt terrible, man. I scored it. Honestly, I had it 7-3 for Gonzalez. I had it 7-3. I didn't think it was close. I thought he controlled everything about every round. I read now Pascal landed some great shots, some great counter shots. He was able to steal a few rounds. But Gonzalez, he controlled everything. I think for all the casual fans out there, for people who score fights, I mean, the way I do it, after every round, simply ask yourself, who would you rather be?
Oh, no.
Get out of here with that Max Kellerman bullshit. I swear to God.
Oh, no.
Brain fuck.
Oh, no.
I don't even know what he said. Who could you rather be?
Oh,
What?
no.
Brain fuck. HBO brain fuck in session. HBO brain fuck is in session.
Who would you rather be?
Oh, no.
It really is. No, really, it's the easiest way to score a fight. If you go after the first round, I'd rather be this guy than you won that round.
Well, I'm gonna explain why that doesn't always work. So what if someone gets hit in the eye and they get a big hematoma on their forehead, right? But
not in that case.
All right. Okay.
Not in that case.
Okay.
You know,
But still finish, Beeb. Still finish that.
I believe Gonzalez got robbed. I do. I really do believe Gonzalez got robbed. I'm not a Triple G fan at all. I mean, I don't hate the guy. I just hate the fans that come with him. But I can see what he's doing. This is a measuring stick.
Yeah, it
is. If they
is.
do 250, if they do 300,000, listen. Andre Ward, they're not going to be able to tell Triple G shit.
You're right.
He's gonna be in control of everything. They better hope he does bad, because if he does good,
Yo, but what
my God.
the problem is this. By allowing this fight to be pay-per-view, they're essentially telling us that Triple G is as big as Golovkin. He's as big as Cotto. I don't know. Forget Mayweather and Pacquiao. But they're saying that he's as big as those lower-level pay-per-view stars. And he is not. He is not. I'm sorry.
I agree with you, but I think they believe...
Canelo, because these guys, these Triple G fanboys, these pom-pom guys that they want to call me Heyman pom-poms, these pom-pom dudes, these cherry-picking motherfuckers, right? This is the problem right here. Yo, Golovkin ain't never do anything like Canelo. Not in ticket sales or pay-per-view numbers. So there's a big difference. Canelo selling 30 and 40,000. You talking about 8,000 in New York City. Man, get the hell out of here. Garcia is young as hell. He did 13,370, I think, in the Barkley, holding the record over Cotto. Paulie and Judah did over 12,000 in Barkley. Like, you know how many people put in more than 10,000 in New York? And people talking about, oh, he sold 8,000 on New York. So what? So what?
Hold on. Say it again. Oh, he's on 8,000.
I'm agreeing with you. I just believe, like you said, those pom-pom fans out there, I think they believe there's enough of them to get him legitimate numbers on pay-per-view. And if he does, my God, like I said, they better hope he does, that he's going to control everything. Everything.
Well,
there will be no...
Nash, your point will be proven on Saturday night because Paulie and Danny are both popular fighters at the Barclays, so we should have like 13,000, 14,000 there Saturday night.
Well, we'll at least have 12, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with at least 10 or better, without a doubt. 10 or better. I mean, Paulie Judah, I was there for Paulie Judah. I was there whenever Peter Quillen fought Fernando Guerrero on undercard. That was probably another Paulie fight, another Danny fight. Danny sold it out even with the Eric Morales. He had upper 10s. Like, 8,000 ain't shit. Remember, the theater holds 4. Madison Square Garden Theater holds 4. Like, oh, he sold out the lower bowl. Like, you're saying in the same breath, they closed the top half of the stadium down. You're admitting that. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas is crazy, man. They just crazy. Listen, I got 2 more calls. I'm going to get to them. 805, thank you for calling in. 786 sounds like somewhere in Puerto Rico, maybe. I don't know. Who's this? 786. Yes, it's you.
Yo.
Oh.
Yo, what's up, man? Oh, my God. I'm actually on the show. I can't believe it.
Who's this?
Hey, man, you guys get me through the day.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, my friend. What is your name?
Man, what's up? Name's Marcel. I'm from Miami.
Miami. What's going on, brother? Talk to us.
Miami.
Yo, did you go to the Thurman fight? Did you go to the Thurman fight in Tampa?
Some great fights. Entertaining, definitely. I don't know if they were competitive per se. You know, well, the main event wasn't competitive, but the fight before, I mean, it was a good fight. I feel like Gonzalez got robbed, but you know, what can I say? That's how boxing is.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Did you go to the Thurman fight, or was that too far of a drive for you? 3 hours was too far?
Oh man, yeah. It's no, Tampa's more than 3 hours away from me. Tampa's like a good 5 hours away.
From Miami?
Yeah. I'm in South Miami.
You driving a moped?
Yeah, it's far. Yeah, man, I don't make much money, so yeah, I'm on that GoPad, you know.
Oh shit, man. Well, we're in the same boat.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but dude, love the show, man. I mean, seriously, you guys get me through the day. I'm saving this. I haven't even been listening to the beginning of the show because I'm just saving it for tomorrow when I work.
Oh man, that's awesome,
You know?
bro. I hope you dropped us a 5-star review. You should say that right in your review because that's awesome. People need to hear that.
I will, man. I will. But hey, let me get one thing off my chest, though, man. You guys are always giving ringside Robbie the shit under the stick.
I already told him.
You guys always interrupting him. You don't let him.
I already told him to stop. I already told him to stop doing it. I already told him tonight to stop doing it.
I love ringside Robbie. He's like my favorite guy there.
Hey,
well, Robbie got to stop saying a bunch of bull crap. All right.
You can't don't talk to Robbie like that. Don't talk to Robbie.
Well, I mean, I wasn't the one that bought the HBO story about his two managers putting up all the money.
Listen. It moved him. It moved. Robbie's got a heart. Give him credit for that.
Yeah, he probably watches that Scrooge movie every year on Christmas.
Hell no,
What's that movie?
Life. And shit.
No.
Then I think it was the night before Christmas, right?
Let him talk. Let Robbie say something.
That's all.
Well, man, you know what? I appreciate you, Robbie. You don't got to worry about Ness or Beeb or Mario. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, don't criticize any of these guys. They're great guys. So, you know.
No, I'm just fucking around, but love the show, guys. Keep it up. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Just keep up the show, man. I look forward to it every Thursday and Sunday.
Hey, keep supporting, man.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, brother. That iTunes review, we appreciate that you appreciate us, and like I said, we keep doing it because of you guys, man. Thank you again for calling in. Hope you become a regular caller, brother. Don't be afraid. Going to our last call of the night. Ooh, I'm gonna assume this is Black Superman. We're having some sort of soundboard issues. We gotta find a new soundboard here. But 317, who's this?
What's up, man? Why do you keep doing that with that Black Superman shit?
Shit, because you guys have the same area code. That's why. And it would be totally totally weird if I remembered all.
He's Clark Kent. He's Clark Kent. He's not Superman.
No, it would just be weird if I remembered all 10 of your digits, So I always just try to remember the area codes.
But look. Last I was your last caller too. But look, check it out. It's Slick Rick, man, from Indianapolis, man. Same 317 all day. But look, I love the show. Can y'all hear me good?
Loud and clear.
I hear a butt coming on, though. I'll tell you that. That's what I hear. I hear a butt.
No, ain't no butt, man. I ain't butting nothing, man. I love the show. What I'm gonna say to this is this, man. These niggas calling into the show, man. Man, you need to tell these dudes, man. Man, I'm gonna buy you a fly swatter. I'm gonna send it online to you, man, because you need to start hitting these boys off, man. These dudes are tripping, man. There, come on, bruh.
Be more specific, buddy.
Hold on. Say what?
Be more specific. They tripping off what? You got me like at the end of the. I'm still waiting for you to tell me what you're talking about.
Okay, they tripping. This all the shit they just been saying about like Blue Bay now. I mean, come on, man. Man, whatever, man. Dude. Next.
I'm here, brother. I'm here. Listen, I feel you drowning, and I'm gonna throw you a lifeline. All right, we're gonna take it nice and slow. We're gonna interview you because obviously you can't get your thoughts out. We're gonna help you. What exactly are people tripping on? Are we talking Lemieux, Triple G?
Okay, nah. Yeah, people tripping on the fight game, right? People tripping on the fight game. They tripping on the Gene Pascal fight.
Okay.
They saying that I feel like Gene won the fight.
Okay.
Listen, I'm sitting in the crib, but I got the headphones in. I'm watching the fight. I thought Gene won the fight, right? All day. And then with the Kovalev, the Blue Bay Shumenov shit, whatever the nigga name is, that was a good fight. It really was. You know what I'm saying? He was handling his business.
But wait, Slick Rick, come on, you killing me right now. You said with the Kovalev, Beibut Shumenov, those guys was on separate. They were in Vegas, at least. I'll give you that. They both were in Vegas, but they were separate venues. So which fight are the two are we talking about? The Kovalev fight or the Beibut Shumenov fight? But they weren't fighting together.
Oh. Both fights. I'm sorry, man. Both fights. God damn. I'm wet right now, man. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, both of the fights, bruh. Both of them.
All right, brother. Look, I'm going to get to some other callers, Slick Rick. You got to get that together. Maybe next time, all right, brother? Slick Rick sounding like he had a little bit too much of Grandpa's old stash there. Listen, we finally got through all the callers. We didn't miss anyone. And I guess final thoughts are up. My final thought is, you know, boxing is subjective. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. The views spoken by Ness on this show are my own, not Beebs or anyone else's, you know. I don't think that Triple G Lemieux is a bad fight. Please listen to this before you tweet me, because you know that I respond to each and every one of y'all. So don't make me waste 140 characters if you heard this. I like the fight. I like the fight. It's the best possible available opponent Triple G can fight. It's the best available opponent Triple G can fight. It's just not a pay-per-view fight. But what's his name? It wasn't AB. It was AB because his alter ego Wassam did a horrible job of defending it. But AB did a way better job, and he's right. Mayweather, Arturo Gatti. Lemieux, I guess he's an Arturo Gatti type of guy, you know? What could you say? So, like Beeb and the rest of the callers said, they're gauge. This is a gauger. But I'm not happy I got to pay for it. I don't want to pay for your gauge. Fuck that. Why we can't use ratings as a gauge? I don't want to pay for your gauge.
And one of the problems you have,
Robbie, this is my final thought.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you could go now. I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. The problem you have with this, if Mayweather gets his way and makes the Mayweather-Berto fight a pay-per-view, then you have Lemieux and Triple G be a pay-per-view, and then you have Cotto and Canelo a pay-per-view. That's 3 consecutive months of pay-per-view.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Remember last year, Canelo did a pay-per-view in between Pacquiao's and Mayweather's. It don't matter. Everybody, they're gonna do them.
No, I get it, but just I'm thinking of the time of the year with people preparing for like
Christmas.
The holidays.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Good point, Robbie. Good point.
People don't care about that either.
I mean, I don't, but you know, there are people that do definitely think of that. But that's your final thought, Robbie?
No, my final thought is. Look, I love the fight. I'm glad that it's going to happen. I'm just disgusted that they put it on pay-per-view. I understand why they've done it, but I think it's a bad move. This fight could be on regular HBO. You could figure out a way to pay David Lemieux if that's the reason why they're putting it on pay-per-view.
Well, look, I'm not on pay-per-view, and as you can see, I'm flaunting this new Boxing Voice tank top, so you guys should head on over to the boxingvoice.com store and pick up one too, because as you can see, when I was in Dorney Park, I had the other TBV signature, which is really nice. Really, I wasn't a fan of that design until I received it in the mail, and it's dope. Inside the TBV, it's cursive letters that say "Voice of the People."
Everybody loves that shirt. I gave it to someone the other day. They loved it.
Yeah, man, it's a nice one, and the material is really nice. It's soft, and it's light. So definitely head on over to theboxingvoice.com/store and buy yourself a tank top. You can do it on the mobile. And remember, $1 a day helps a brother out. So donate something, man. Keep a brother on air here. Go ahead, Robbie.
I would like to give my
Let Robbie finish. Let Robbie finish.
Finish, Robbie. I'm sorry.
No, that was pretty much it, guys. I mean, I like the Triple G David Lemieux fight. I'm just disgusted that it has to be pay-per-view. The promoter needs to do a better job of paying the opponent if that's the reason why it's on there. But I like the fight. It's the best fight available for him right now.
I mean, I just don't understand. How much is this fight? Like, what? Give me your guys' quick price line in terms of how much each fighter is being paid, right? Because Timothy Bradley's mandatory minimum is $2 million. I mean, from what I heard, Ward is like at a 2.5. You know, so if they could pay for that, why can't they pay Lemieux? I don't understand. How much are these guys getting paid? B, what's your opinion? What do you think Triple G and Lemieux are making for this fight?
Oh, for guarantees up front, you mean?
Yes. Because I just don't see how the network couldn't pay for it. Why do we have to pay for it?
I mean, Wassan was saying that Lemieux turned down a $2 million guarantee. I don't know how true that is. If I was just to guess without hearing what Wassam said, I would have thought like Triple G's guarantee would be like $2 million, and David Lemieux's would be like maybe 1 or 1.5, and then they get percentage of the pay-per-views. But I don't know, man. You know, it's crazy. I would guess two for Triple G, maybe one or 1.5 for Lemieux.
Hey guys, and remember, the easiest way to use our Amazon link is actually amazon.theboxingvoice.com, and it's free, and you help a brother out. Casual fan, your final thoughts?
Yo, my final thoughts are this real quick, right? Popular opinion should determine the fight. Number one. Number two.
Yo, spoken like a true casual fan. B, did that go over your head? He said the popular opinion.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, you know, let me correct you.
No.
Stop. Listen.
Shit and then saying, let me correct it.
Well, no, I said let me correct you, right? First of all, Mayweather would say I'm not fighting such and such because he is not popular. So stop with the popular opinion doesn't matter. Popular opinion is what says what should happen. That's why you're mad that Lemieux versus Triple G is on a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? That's why people are mad that Berto and Mayweather may be pay-per-view. That's why I said popular opinion determines what happens. Number two,
No, it doesn't, though.
Yes, it does.
You're misunderstanding what he's saying. You know what he's saying?
You're misunderstanding what
I'm defending you. I'm defending you. Stop. What he's saying is the public determines how popular a fighter is. So if the public thinks a fighter is popular, then that should determine if they should be on pay-per-view or not. Am I correct, casual fan?
You are 100% correct.
Well, then it doesn't make sense for you to bring up Mayweather-Berto because nobody wants Mayweather-Berto.
Nobody wants Mayweather-Berto, and that's what I was saying. The popular opinion is against that.
He's not saying anything wrong, Ness. You just don't understand how. I could understand how he was. You were thinking. You don't understand how he was articulating his point. He's saying the public should determine how popular a fight is.
Yes, as well
based on the support of the fighter.
As well as this weekend's fights, there was a popular opinion.
This is why I interrupted because I knew he was going to the Gonzalez fight.
No, you didn't.
He didn't know that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So erase that. Scrub that off. You know what I'm about to do.
You just ruined. You're on a good roll, and you ruined it when you did that.
Yeah, so I wish Al Heyman would step up and say he wants people to not feel boxed in, to not feel like the boxer of choice cannot make mistakes. That's what I feel. I also feel that if a boxer loses, that awesome is still possible after that loss. That's what I wish Al Heyman would step up and say, and that is why PBC is created. And that's my last point and my review of tonight's show. Thank you very much. You can follow me at TBV_casual fan. Nestor Gibbs is the man. Habib is the man. Ringside Robbie is the man. Jameson is the man. Boxing Voice Mario is the man. Go work out at Planet Fitness or wherever you work out at. Get your pump on because after the fall comes the winter and you must look good. Thank you. All right, I'm done. Go ahead. That's all I said.
I was trying to say something there, but you
said,
didn't let me, and I forgot.
I said Al Heyman. I'm sorry. I said Al Heyman, and then I said Al Heyman.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that your speech sounded so much like that Suge Knight speech when he was like, if you don't want, I think Mario said this before, but that's what you sounded like. If you don't want your producer dancing in your video, you know, it kind of felt like that because it's true. Someone should say that over on the PBC side, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You're going to be back on TV. Your career isn't over.
I just wish Al Heyman would.
You don't have to cry on TV about if you're going to fight or if your parents are going to be able to eat or you're going to be able to pay your rent. You don't have to shed tears on TV because you're in fear of your life being in jeopardy because at least you know that you have another check coming. You have another fight.
Not even the check. That possibility exists.
Hey, casual fan, they said, "Are you Middle Eastern in the chat?" Dad, that's messed up. You guys know he's Puerto Rican.
I'm Puerto Rican and I'm Colombian. I was born in Brooklyn, just so you know. All right, thank you. And I'm Newark, New Jersey, Brooklyn, West Orange. Shout out to those three places.
Damn, he just gave a targeted location.
Oh,
listen, Beeb, your final thoughts.
Well, this is the thing. Everyone's got to start somewhere, and they need to find out just how big Triple G is and what he will do in terms of pay-per-view numbers if they put him out there. And I understand that, and I understand why they're trying to gauge this. My only problem is this. This could be used as ammunition for fighters if he does do bad to say they don't want to fight him even more. So you're saying that you hope it does good, so then fighters won't have an excuse to avoid him. My concern is that if he bombs or does 150 or below, then fighters can say, hey, well, why should I fight him when I could fight such and such and do this? So that's my only concern. I don't want to see them set the kid up to fail, and I don't want this to be a negative mark on him. If you know, and with all due respect to David Lemieux, I'm just concerned about this opponent being marketed to the United States public because they don't really know him. And again, the thing is this. One advantage Triple G does have is, a lot of Hispanic, Latino fans like him and like his style of fighting. So if he could continue to build up a fan base with that demographic, then he has a shot to become a star. And hopefully he will become a star. But I would think that this opponent is the wrong opponent to do that because none of these Latino fans know who this guy is. So that's my only concern.
Listen, the biggest worry here is if Lemieux could be your B-side, right? And we accept this, and it's over already. It's happening. It's happening. The same way Canelo snuck Angulo and Islandri Lara in. So hypothetically, before we end this show, let's make it quick. So I got to get out of here. Who's gonna be his next pay-per-view? And not Cotto, not Canelo.
Yeah, that's the thing, because then you're starting to set
the bar is so low, right?
Yeah, you're setting the precedent that, you know what, he could fight guys on pay-per-view that really aren't known to the public, and that's what you don't want to do.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Next we'll get Curtis Stevens versus Triple G rematch on
So they're gonna try and because what they could turn around and do is say, okay, well that was only his first pay-per-view. Let's give him another one and see how he does. So that they could be setting a precedent here, and that's a bad thing too. And that's an excellent point you just made.
I mean, listen, AB called in and said, was it Wassam who said he's a champion? David Lemieux's a champion. Well, Daniel Gill was.
Wassam said that.
Daniel Gill was a champion. Why didn't they do that pay-per-view? You know what I'm saying? Like, Martin Murray was not a champion, but why wasn't that pay-per-view? What makes Lemieux the pay-per-view B-side? This is crazy, but you know what? We've chalked it up enough. I am your host, NesGTO. Find me on NesGTO on Twitter, and follow us at The Boxing Voice on all social networks, especially Periscope. Me and Casual Fan will be all up and down. Well, more me than Casual Fan, but he'll be there Thursday. But we'll be all up and down this Danny Garcia fight week coming up, and at the fight on Saturday. Also, I want to remind everybody, I guess that's basically it. I got to give you guys the list. We got a nice roundup for this Thursday's guests, and up first is going to be, let me see, this Thursday's guest list at 7:30. It's the WBC champion, Gary Russell Jr., and at 8 o'clock, it's going to be world-renowned trainer John Iceman Scully, known for numerous fighters that he's trained, and he's in that Knockout Series Season 2. And also at 8:30, we're going to be having Abraham Lopez, the hot prospect. So those are the TBV guest lists for this Thursday. Remember to tune in at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow us again at all social networks at The Boxing Voice. See you guys on Thursday. Maybe Tuesday if these guys are up to it. Tuesday. It would have to be Tuesday because Wednesday fight week starts. So it would have to be Tuesday to really discuss the David Lemieux Triple G pay-per-view announcement. I think that we should do one. So if we get the guys, maybe Tuesday. So anyway.
Or the surprise Mayweather announcement.
Well, that didn't happen yet, right?
No, there may be a surprise.
It could happen this week. Who knows?
Exactly.
Let's see. Let's see if Mayweather, because if Mayweather does a pay-per-view, you think HBO backs out?
Hopefully.
Of that Lemieux Golovkin? All right, guys, that's a food for thought. Enjoy this on your day to work, and remember, if you are enjoying it, drop us a 5-star review. If you've done that already, drop us $1 on a donation. Keep the lights on. Later.
Peace.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.